And we're back here in the ESL TV studio, coming to you live from Cologne, Germany. It is the RaidCall EMS 1 finals. There is $35,000 on the line. This is the first of 4 with a total prize pool of, get ready, fasten your seatbelts, $156,000. I'm joined by 2 people who have been standing next to me poking a little bit of fun at some of the players that come around. Okay, maybe poking fun at me, that's acceptable. Mostly just fun at me. A little bit more fun at me. But you did just have a little, what did you just say to Kenny? You told him that the game was starting?
I was just kidding though. He just wanted something to drink, and I told him to go and play, and he was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, now he's going to die of thirst.
So yeah, so if he plays bad now, that's going to be on me. So I'm not feeling good about that.
Yeah, I feel like technically that you owe him 130. No, maybe not.
I support this. As long as it's not me, I'm so
as long as you're not the one who has to do any of the payment, you're completely fine with it.
I'm down with that.
Okay, excellent. So guys, obviously we had a first round that was, let's say, a little bit of an unfortunate one for faculty. I mean, local guys, everybody would like to see them do well, but it just didn't come together. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? I know you've talked it probably to death now. I don't want to keep asking you the same questions, but.
Well, I feel bad, genuinely, because they had so much heart. The knife round, you could hear them. Literally, they were so loud, they were so in it. And then when it came to actually stepping up, it just didn't seem to click. Nothing worked. They tried different strats. They tried playing slowly, quickly. They went for the individual picks. They tried playing as a complete collective, but it just didn't work. And I think you saw it as well as I did that, well, Absolute Legends, on the other hand, everything worked. So it was a little bit heartbreaking because you could see how much they wanted it. That's the worst thing.
I mean, I could see when I spoke to Dizzy after the game, he was properly distraught, you know. I mean, you could really see that he looked like a man that was genuinely upset. You could see what it meant to him. But at the same time, it just felt like maybe because Absolute Legends were a little bit more relaxed, or maybe they didn't have the pressure on them, they didn't have as much to prove. Could that? Yeah. You think that played in ultimately?
We were talking about it in front of the game as well. We've heard talks about them already being split up before going to this event, so pretty much if that's the case, they're just here to have fun, just here to play and show what they can. And this is kind of the opportunity they have to showcase themselves to other teams. Some of the players, if they want to go on and continue playing.
Yeah, it's basically a cattle market for them at the moment. Look at me, I have wonderful wares.
So basically, we've created some sort of like nightclub atmosphere here where people can date and kind of flirt with one another.
Speed dating.
Speed dating in
I feel really uncomfortable right now.
In the CSGO community right here. Well, you mentioned some of the other teams, and I guess it's an idea that we maybe have a look at Anexis, and I know that the guys can probably throw up a lovely graphic for us so we can have a look at the team as it stands at the moment, and we can go through which players are coming. There's Anexis first, that would be perfect. So who would you guys say on that team are the one to watch?
I've got to say mine right now, which is Release. I got to see him, I think it was last weekend at an event, and the man was an absolute beast. Like, everything that he wanted to worked. Every shot he wanted to hit, he hit. And even just within the team element, that man was an absolute beast. So for me, if he's got his right, the right mind frame,
if he's on form, if he's in that
he's going to drag his team to it. Rattlesnake's been fairly quiet, I've got to say. In comparison, yeah, of course. I think that's the best point to make. Overall, I don't think we can say it's been quiet, but in that kind of instance, not quite as in it, but I think Release is the player to watch in this one. But how about you? What do you?
Well, I have to kind of agree with you. Release is kind of the go-to guy for Anexis here, but Lewis Husey coming into the lineup now, first event for him as well with Anexis and Global Offensive. He's my man to watch. I can't wait because he was dangerous in Counter-Strike Source.
I forgot about him. He replaced PRB, didn't he, recently?
He was huge, yeah.
So they've got 2 go-to guys there that you believe could really be game changers. Would it be fair to kind of put if they're on form that they can really be pulling things forward?
Well, yeah, pretty much every single player though on form is.
that's always a nice team to have.
Seriously, they are literally a mix of some of the most talented players you can get. A UK Beast team who've come from previous titles, you've always played together, but they've formed a collective. Individually, there's no limitation to what they can do. As a collective, though, that's where that can be the make or break point with them. Obviously, we saw a drastic factor of that in faculty previously, that good players, great team play, but it just didn't happen. So Anexis are one of those that if everything works, they're untouchable. But whether or not it does is a completely different question.
Well, obviously standing in the way of the guys from VeryGames, which will have to have their game face on if they're going to be able to take it to what you guys have described, seems to be a team that's pretty, let's say, in form. So we've got the graphic now to have a look through the guys. If I glance over here, it should be on. It is on, just not on that screen,
all right,
on this screen.
All right, let's have a look in the background then.
So we've got Kevin, Kenny, Nathan, Adil, and Edward. Talk us through those guys.
I'll just
You kick it off.
I'll start off with Scream. I think the last tournament he had about 98 or 99% of all his kills were headshots. And
Monstrous.
You've never seen that in any game.
That's
any
absolutely
game.
phenomenal.
That's
That's a statistic to be proud of.
Yeah.
That's a screenshot moment.
I
Post
think
for
when
friends.
I think when he goes into a duel, he just decides. If he can't get the headshot, he's not going to pick up the kill. That's kind of what his playstyle right now. He's just aiming for the head, even though he's in the most awkward position ever. He will go for that headshot. But yeah, VeryGames coming up from a strong victory at Mad Cats Birmingham.
Exactly.
Which Anexis also participated in, although with a step in. So they didn't have Hughes in for it. But it's worth mentioning that in the group stages, Anexis beat VeryGames with a step in.
Exactly,
But
and
in the
that's going to be
end-
huge. That's going to be a big mental factor as well for VeryGames and Anexis. I've got to say it. Like,
How do you guys see that playing out? I mean,
well, take that one.
Wow. Well, I'm not going to give you any predictions. I'll relay Weber's predictions.
Wait, we love predictions.
No. I'm going to give you straight from the source here, from Weber of Anexis. He said 2-0 to them.
Wow.
Okay.
And quite convincingly so. First map being 16-9, he said, and second map 16-12. So you
I hope
heard it from
somebody's
the
writing
source.
this down.
Okay.
If this is kind of like the oracle moment where you can see into the future. Let's have a look at the graphic to show kind of how the guys have reached this. If they can throw that up again in the wonderful world of technology. I look around.
Well, yeah.
Fingers crossed that something will happen.
The only thing we got on stream now are 3 confused people looking around.
3 people looking from left to right as they try to predict this, and it's one of those awkward moments when everybody's gone silent in my ear. The voices in my head have left me.
That one time you won them. But they should be back now because
Hey,
here we
up. So here we are. Let's have a look at them. So obviously we got Ninja in Pajamas at the top, and Faculty was up at second. We've already had to bid them in a due, which is never nice. So unfortunately, then of course we've got all the way down VeryGame in number 5 there, and Alexis all the way down in 10. Do you feel that's a fair?
I don't think you can
Fair
read much
positioning
into it.
on? No?
No.
Initially, you obviously look at the way it played out. Absolute Legends turned up. You can see he was sitting on the chair there, looking all happy. And Faculty were obviously placed very highly on
We
that board.
got RDL smiling at us
Exactly,
as we
he's
sit
like,
here.
yeah.
He's waving, going, "Hey guys,
But
I'm doing it."
It's pretty much how they turn up on the day. These two teams are more than capable of beating each other at any point. Obviously, as you touched on before, Anexis did get the better of VeryGames at a previous event. But then VeryGames went on to win the same event, so it can literally switch around. These two teams, no matter where they're placed, they can still upset whatever you're meant to see. So it's...
So you're saying, obviously, we're looking at some of the best teams that there are. These are really the guys on the top of their form. And you're saying that they're so, let's say, close, and the level is so high that it's really anybody's on the day. That it just really comes down to that performance that goes there. There's nobody that you'd say, hey, these guys have really got the upper hand or the advantage that they're looking for.
Yeah, it's. I'm not even saying we're going to see overtime, so we're going to see a 16-14 game. But what we can see is one team going 16-3. But it can be either of the teams.
Exactly.
It's all down
so hard to read.
On day form. It's all down to the play styles, which maps they're playing on. I can't wait to see, and I can't wait to cast it either. So
I'm a little bit jealous, but at least I get to watch it. I've got to say that's going to be amazing to watch. Just, I've got to mention the likes of Rattlesnake in the lineup. To not mention him because he can be such a key element. He's the team leader of the side. If he's got his mind switched onto the right place, he can be the difference for that side. But if he's not, if he's quiet, that can be a huge issue as well. So not only did we have a nice feature yet last time of having like the obviously the radio in there, we could like tune in from the RaidCall thing, but if you could hear that for these guys, it's a completely different element. They're so ready, they're so focused. Riled up is a bit of an understatement. So that's going to be an interesting one, and I can't wait to watch it myself.
So Pansy, you're going to, Pansy, you'll be staying with me. Warclimb, you'll be heading over with Red Eye to cast this one. I'm super excited to see where this is going to go to. Stick around, there's going to be lots more exciting action coming up. We've got Alexis Sports and VeryGames, but first we're going to head over and see our good friend Melly, I believe. Melly, take it away.
Oh, hi. Yeah, we're back, and I'm not alone. RDL is keeping me company because he will join the RaidCall chat right now. Go on our channel 1997 to talk to RDL right now and join the channel team and Absolute Legends, I'm sorry. And yeah, you can ask him as many questions as you like, and here is your microphone so you can talk to me. We've been talking about your lineup change as well. It's not a real change actually. You're a mixed team right now.
Yeah, A week before Copenhagen Games, we got to know that one of our players wasn't able to make it, which was unfortunate with everything paid for. So we just decided, we tried to fit in a stand-in and go still, but in the end we just couldn't find anyone, and we just decided to let's put this on hold for a bit, like, I don't know, a few months and see what happens. And then this happened.
Happened.
Epsilon got disqualified, and I think Navi lost an LDLC, and all of a sudden we were in the 16th slot and got to play the group stages. Played that as mix, won the group, and yeah, now we're here and we won the first map, and it feels great. And we're just a mix, so it was a bit.
Will you continue playing in this lineup?
We've had the 2-day boot camp now, and we've discussed it, but we'll wait and see after this event and see how it goes. See how because it's not just the results; it's how we work as a team as well. Because one event might go well and everything is fine, and then you start practice, and after a month or two, you realize that
something doesn't fit.
Yeah. And yeah, so we just want to be 100%. So the same thing that's happened before doesn't happen again, because we've had so many lineup changes now. So it's.
So you want to be sure this time. Before you make it official.
100%.
So and. You guys already left Absolute Legends, but they're still supporting you for this event.
Yeah, we had a bit of a struggle to get here, because we initially we folded and left Absolute Legends because we didn't want to cause them any more trouble that we already had. And then we were looking for someone to sponsor us to this event, but it's quite hard to get a sponsor for a mixed team to one event. So Tim from Absolute Legends, he just said that he's a really good guy, and he helped us out for this event as well, like a last thing, and it feels good to be able to win the first map and make him proud.
Of you guys,
do something good for him.
How many hours did you prepare for this event in total?
Everyone has played online by themselves to prepare individually, but we had a 2-day boot camp now before at Inferno Online, which was really helpful.
And you played 48 hours straight.
Yeah, it was. We came there at 10 in the morning, and we went at 12 at night. We went to the hotel again. So yeah, it's been
pretty intense.
Yeah, pretty intense. It's been long hours, but life of a gamer.
Life of a gamer, how it is, exactly. So if you got more questions to Ariel, just join the RaidCall chat, and he's waiting for you. And yeah, Sean is already waiting with the pre-match interview. Okay, so you keep on chatting.
I'll keep on chatting.
We'll go back to Sean.
Thank you very, very much, Melly. I'm here joined with NBK from VeryGames. How are you doing?
Pretty good, I guess.
Are you excited?
I am really waiting forward to this match.
This is one that you're looking forward to, get stuck in?
Yeah, actually, we're an excellent team, and they beat us last LAN, so, we're trying to get revenge, and we're going to try to do it.
A little bit of revenge in there, a little bit of something to prove. Sounds like a good thing. Good luck, sir. And, of course, here we have Sam, who's joined us from Anexis Games.
Hi there.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, yeah.
Are you... Start that over again. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. Just been talking with our team about what we're going to do for the game, and just sort of setting ourselves up ready for the game. Because we know VeryGames are good on Nuke, and from Source they've given us a pasting quite a few times on it, and sort of we want a bit of revenge on them for that as well.
So you're here, right here. There's a bit of revenge from both sides going off. I think it's a tough one to pick. You heard it from the casters before at the interviews. Guys, I'd like to ask you to shake hands. All important, and I say good luck to you both, sir. Play well over the casters. Stick around. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, too right. It's going to be awesome. This is Anexis versus VeryGames. It's the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup quarterfinal. It was our second game of the day after a bit of a steamroller early on. Warclown.
Oh, hey. I'm just trying out the rattlesnake approach to reply to some people. All right, I'm fine.
That was mighty awkward for a moment, wasn't it, Sam? Huh? Oh, hi. it's the last thing on his mind right now. What he actually wants to be doing is shooting heads. So he's going to get to do that in the next couple of minutes. I suppose we ought to recap a little bit. We heard a little bit between the guys there that the previous matchup was at Mad Cats. It was last weekend, so it's not that long ago. It's still fresh in the memory for VeryGames. It's the only time, incredibly, that these two have met on LAN in CS:GO, it seems extraordinary that they've both been playing so long. I mean, you think Anexis were, Mouse Sports before, and they've sort of had a period in between of being the I can't remember what they named themselves, but it was a weird name. Do you remember it? It was something like the underrated individuals.
Oh, yeah, overrated individuals.
Yeah, it came to me as old mind. Came to me in the end. And, all that time of playing CSGO, and they've only met once, and that was last week. The interesting thing, I think I wrote this in the preview as well, is that they lost the battle, VeryGames, because they lost that game against Anexis, but they won the war, they won the whole tournament. So,
nice.
Nicely put. Yeah. So, for me, it's a bit sort of like, I don't know if that will be damaging to them at all. I'm not even sure they'll worry about it so much, but it's interesting because we've got the map pick. So let me just go through the map pick.
Okay.
So Nuke's first, which is VG's map. They've picked Nuke, so that's obvious. Anexis have gone for Dust 2, which is pretty obvious, and then Inferno third if we need it. I've got a sneaky feeling we might get 3.
I think we're going to get 3, no doubt about it. I wanted to say, you touched upon it. Considering Anexis beat VeryGames at the last event, but VeryGames won it in the end, it's a different situation because right now, if VeryGames can't topple Anexis, they're out of the tournament. They can't get back. They can't win the grand final. So it's a little bit of a different story this time, Paul.
Yeah, I think the teams and the way that they match up is very. I mean, for those that aren't aware, these two have a very storied history over the years in Counter-Strike Source in particular that goes back 4 or 5 years. I mean, we're not talking, we're talking like when these guys used to be called Red Zone back in the day, or Red Line, I think they were called. And of course, the guys that are now in Anexis used to be Mouse Sports, but before that they were Dignitas, and before that they were Birmingham Salvo. So,
indeed,
these two really do have a storied history against each other. I'm not sure that they particularly dislike each other, but there's definitely a bit of needle.
Well, yeah, I would say in the earlier days in Counter-Strike Source there was a little bit of bad blood between them, a lot of banter being thrown around, but as you can see in that interview as well between the two teams, I think after a while they've just settled down and like, all right, we kind of like playing against each other. Always caters for good games and a good experience for the viewers. So I think they've put the hatchet aside if there ever was one, and right now they're just. I think both teams enjoy playing each other.
We'll hopefully get the. I'm hoping this isn't live because no, it's not. It's definitely not live. We should have the knife round coming up shortly, and then we'll be ready to rock and rumble in this quarterfinal. And as I said before, the great thing is there's no group, so there's no duff games here. They're all going to be great games because they have to win these maps to get through to the semi-finals. And I think the other side that we haven't really spoken about too much so far is that we spoke about it at the very beginning of the show when not everyone was tuned in, but VeryGames and the Anexis, even if they win this one, the likelihood is they'll face ninjas in pyjamas in the next round. So it's not nice for them, is it? They're going to have to play really. I mean, weirdly, and I'm not going to. This is no disrespect to any other teams in the top half of the bracket, but whoever wins this game could, in theory, get to the final and face an easier game than they've had in the semis or the quarters.
Well, I think you're pretty much all right there, Paul. And it's a little bit sad to see, but in the end,
the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the way the draws go.
The draws aren't always the way viewers or everyone else wants them to be. It's all about putting up the results during the qualification, during the cup, because it's all down to seeds, and everyone knew the rules and how the selection would be drawn at the end when they were at the start of the tournament. So, I mean, we can't really blame anyone for that selection or that draw. It's just the way it is, isn't it?
Yep. And it's interesting, actually, the RaidCall season. We had 4 cups and the playoffs, of course. And through that, it was interesting because Anexis actually came in as the overrated individuals in Cup 1, lost to Infused on the opening day, the opening night of that Cup. Would have faced Ninjas in Pyjamas next if they'd won it. The next Cup, they faced Ninjas in Pyjamas first round, so they had a bit of a rough start. Finally, in Cup 3, they got a favourable draw and showed us what they can do by reaching the semis. And it was similar, really, for VeryGames. They actually got knocked out early on in Cup 2 by Imaginary Gaming, who we'll see a bit later on, playing Fnatic. And it took them until Cup 4 before they really secured their place in the playoffs, and they won that cup. So Both sort of very similar stories, really, as far as the RaidCall EMS 1 season is concerned. And it's hard to really separate. For me, the way that the maps have come out, you'd think, okay, VeryGames should take Nuke.
Yeah.
Anexis should take Dust 2, and Inferno is almost a coin flip between these two. So I'm really looking forward to it. I have to tell you, I'm just so excited right now.
Oh, we hear people, the players in the background here getting all fired up. They want to get this game started. We can see VeryGames are readying up. So we are just waiting for Anexis to call out ready before we go into the all-important knife round, because obviously, Paul, knife round is pretty important here on Nuke.
It is, but you haven't experienced a RaidCall EMS 1 knife round with me yet, have you?
Oh, am I about to experience what everyone has been talking about?
You are.
Oh, wow.
Because the thing is, Joe and I, Joe, by the way, unfortunately has died and gone to League of Legends Heaven.
Yeah.
But apparently he's coming back to life tomorrow, or the next day, so it's fine. Joe and I don't like knife rounds. I mean, I don't know how you feel about them. They're important, we know they're important, and they do decide size, particularly when it's on Nuke, because it's such a biased side. Well, I say that it's 60% biased in favour of CTs, and the same on Train to a lesser degree these days. But they just bore the crap out of me. They really do. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw it open to the community in Twitch. Not this one, but for later on. Let us know how you would like us to commentate the knife round, and I'll do my very best to deliver. If you've been watching the RaidCall EMS1 series, this will be fairly familiar to you. So here we go then. And it's on Nuke appropriately, which means I'm going to break out this. Read then. Laddie. Time for the stabbings to take place. Because that's what we like to do in Scotland. And drink. But none of these guys are drinking. They're going to be doing some bish, bash, bosh. Or not. Jesus, man, get on with it. Taking forever to get the stabbings in. You wouldn't survive 5 minutes in the streets of Glasgow. It's 2v1. It's all over now. I think I've gone into a bit of a Yorkshire accent. Where that's come from. Anyway, VeryGames take the final stab of the round. Oh, dear me. So we hope you enjoyed the knife round. We hope that they actually make the knife rounds a bit more enjoyable than they normally are, because let's face it, they're a bit of a bore fest. So that's that one done and dusted. Deary me.
All right, so
how did you feel that went then? I don't know what happened at the end. I kind of broke into some sort of local Yorkshire, Northumbrian kind of.
I have to say, I dug it. I love how you transitioned in the end of the round as well. Like
back to normal.
I mean, you're mixing it up. You're getting a little bit out of your comfort zone, and I really appreciate it. And I have to say,
damn it! Do you know what I didn't do? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, you've heard it. See, and it's the CTs on Nuke. That's why I should have got one of them. Damn me. So anyone out there on the Twitch chat that thinks that sucked, please let me know, because it did.
All right, Paul, game is going live.
It's game on time. It's serious stuff now, ladies and gents. This is the quarterfinal of VeryGames versus Anexis in the RaidCall ESL EMS 1 Spring Cup Season 1 for $35,000. And we are underway. If I can get a little bit more game sound, I don't know if anyone can turn that up for me, because I can hardly hear them as we follow Existence to start things off. And actually back to Husey. It's the new boy in town. Not new boy to these guys, of course. He's pretty much played with 3 of the 4 in the team. Other than Weber, they were the old Mouse Sports team. So plenty of experience here on the Brit side. They're just waiting to see whether they can find an entry kill into this upper bomb site right now. A smoke onto the top of Tim will put them off a little bit. Weber's starting to lead the charge, but Existence has already come in with 1. In fact, he's got himself a double. Kenny's going to protect it from the upper bracket, from the upper bomb site here. And MBK and Kenny S come in, and they strike first blood. VeryGames very, very well set in that upper bomb site, and that's exactly where Anexis didn't want to go.
No trouble at all for VeryGames to hold down that push coming out from Anexis. I mean, not one single frag coming out from Anexis there, so really not utilizing that pistol round too well, because as we have seen in other games, Paul, the pistols slightly favor the Ts right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, more than 60% on all of the 5 commonly used maps. right now. The T side win more often on pistols, so bad start for Anexis. They really needed that one, more so because of the fact that we're on nuke, because MX has managed to run a bit like a sprinter all the way through the outside into that volcano stairway and has got himself downstairs already. Weber pops this squeaky as Kenny S picks up the first kill of the round on Husey. Hasn't had the most auspicious of starts, it has to be said, and Existence has got himself his 4th. MBK, wow, where did that come from? Rattlesnake absolutely nailing Smith for the first kill from Anexis. Only got 6 points of health, will pick up another one on MBK, couldn't get to him in time. And Existence will clean things up at the end of the round. 5 from 2 rounds from Existence, which is a nice way of picking it up, actually, because he had a stonking tournament at Mad Cats Birmingham.
Yeah, he did not play really well. I had the chance to cast, and obviously you were sound stage pretty much over in Birmingham doing it as well. So, yeah, I have to agree. It's good to see Existence back in form, and hopefully we'll keep that up throughout the game and not only through Pistol and Eco.
Yep. So underway round 3 already, 2-0 as you've expected from VeryGames. Yeah, a couple of people outside, one on top of yellow, MX on the outside as Scream starts things off with the M4 shot on Weber. Release just having to bounce his way away from that ramp room. And Kenny S here might get himself a couple. Just what is Auto Director doing?
No, it's that's why I did not utilize that last game.
What is it doing?
Yeah.
Seriously, why would it switch away from that? That's peculiar, to say the least. Scream then does get himself a frag. This is going to be a straightforward 3rd round win, and then we will get a bye. So VeryGames 3 up, and it's all been straightforward so far, Simon.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see what Anexis are setting up to do here for the first weapons round. It's to me, back when I did professional gaming as well, the 4th round was always the most important round of every half. You might have won the pistol round and the 2 following rounds, but the first weapon on weapon round really sets the tone for the rest of the half, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it certainly does. 4 have already headed outside here. Whether the annoying man on the inside just now, as we're with Kenny S, is just going to check. I keep calling it yellow because that's what it was before, but it's kind of like white now.
Yeah.
Top of drums, I think that's what we'll call that for now. As Husey now just leading the, well, not leading the line, but he's at the back of the 6 here. As they push past Red, they're looking as if they want to go down Volcano, but they're completely flashed out in that outer area. Just waiting to see what comes of it. MBK's going to get himself the first, Existence the second. Only Husey replying for anything at all. He gets nailed long range by MBK on the M4, and this should be good night for Anexis. They've got MX with 16 health. He's going to be dropping down shortly, being pinned down by 2 outside, and again the Auto Director just not doing a very good job at all of trying to find something. I'm just going to leave him alone and instead find Weber. So we're 4v1. He does have bomb, but also has 4 men to find here. Oh, he's already been tagged down. 73 is a man up top, man below, and MBK cleans things up, and it's 4-0.
I mean, they just get shut down by VeryGames straight off the bat. We don't really see any resistance coming out from the Anexis squad right now. And I have to just point out with the Auto Director, I don't think it will work considering we are pretty much live right now. It works great when you got the delay.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, so we should just stick to trying to select the players, so bear with us.
Indeed, you are absolutely right. Let's just take a quick look and see where they're heading right now. They've decided to put 3 inside. Rattlesnake's just going to leave himself on that outer area right now. Still hasn't got enough money for an AWP, which I would guess he'd prefer on the outer side, but it doesn't really matter right now. VeryGames, look at this area down here, this area here, and this area here. Nothing whatsoever in terms of cover. But it doesn't seem to matter too much right now because it's Weber who's picked up the opening kill. First time they've managed to get the opener. Now, looks as if they might well decide to go and push outside. As you see earlier, we were showing you where they were going to go. So they've got all these 2 men just out here. Husey inside with bomb. Could still wait. Rattlesnake's looking like he's going to rotate right now as well. And it looks like the upper site might well be the place to go. Well, I don't know. 4 in radio right now, so I could be wrong on that one too. Here goes the smoke deployed for side. In ramp, 35 seconds remaining. Got to make a move soon. MBK comes in with the first kill, takes down Rattlesnake. They do get 3 men in towards this ramp room. Release picks up that first frag as well. Now, can he get a second here? Flash is going to come out. It doesn't matter though. He's been able to turn away, and they are going to get down to this lower bomb site. with 22 seconds remaining. There is a man down there as well, and Existence might get himself a frag. No, he's picked off by a combination of Release and Hughesy's Galil in the end, and Bomb is now planted with just a few seconds remaining. Big round, this one from Anexis. 4-0 to VeryGames, and they finally got themselves on the board. Just Kenny S remaining now, and he's going to hide away with that AWP. Doesn't want to lose the big green at this point, but really good attack. Simon that time round. They really blasted their way and were patient with their play, and then blasted into that radio room really positively.
Yeah, that's what I want to point out as well. They played it out passively, but when they decided to push in, they did it as a unit, and they didn't stop. They didn't hesitate. Kenny is saving his weapon, picking up a kill onto MX as well. Let's see if he can hold it up against the last remaining. It's going to be Dan pushing in. In fact, he's not going for it. But yeah, I would like to point out. We saw that from his point of view as well. Dan opening up with a nice kill there on ramp, and that's the kind of player Anexis needs right now. Release has been playing that well. He is the entry killer, and if he can just keep opening up areas for them to proceed into, I think Anexis can start getting a lot of rounds there on that T side.
Just check and see whether they are going to pop outside here. In fact, MX is going to try and come towards this area now as Kenny will just wait. Oh, do you know what? Did he just see in there? No, not quite actually. And he's going to back away. So let's have a quick look and see whether they're going through right now. Scream not had the greatest of starts, has to be said. We're looking to him as one of the key players in the matchup. And as Simon just said, the other key man is Release, and he really needs to get those entry kills. Scream getting a little bit bored inside that ramp room, decides that he's going to try and force the play a little bit. Nothing doing from them just yet, though, and MBK now going to grenade into that lobby. Takes a little bit of health off Release. In fact, only 3. Grenades are weird in Go, aren't they?
Yeah, it's hard to predict what kind of damage output will come out of it.
Bomb still waiting. Now, Kenny does pick up that first kill from outside. He's changed his position to the upper rafters now, and there is another man just below him. Now, I don't know if you can see him because he's scoped up, changed away from it, and there is a man just outside now. If he pops out here... No, he's decided to back away. They think the ramp room is going to be the push. It is going to be the push. Scream with a double. Kenny comes in with a third. Last man standing here will be Rattlesnake now. And he has got himself down low. I don't think they'll know that he's actually there, so they might just drop down here into the path of the AK. That's exactly what the first man does. Won't make any difference. Nailed in the face by Kenny S. And VeryGames lead 5-1 now.
Wow. Anexis picking up that round, but then once again we saw that in the previous matchup as well, and Faculty and all. Absolute legends. There we go. There we go. We're picking up that one round and then being smashed down the following round. It's not going to be good for your confidence at all. You get that momentum going, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away straight off the bat. So I mean, Anexis not really feeling good right now. I think being forced onto an eco.
The funny thing as well is that while Scream's not having the greatest start to this game, Kenny S is 8-0 right now after 6. And they just can't find a way past him. And I think it's sort of the fact that it's on CT. He started on CT side with that AWP because they had the money advantage, and Rattlesnake's not been able to get the AWP to fire back and therefore go eye to eye. So it's probably not going to work that way for Anexis right now unless they put a few rounds on the board. But any rounds on the board right now on Nuke, I mean, if you get to sort of 4 or 5 rounds, you're pretty happy on T side. So not a worry just yet. 5-1's okay. Just flick around them right now. I'm going to Scream. Well, he's still holding that ramp room with Smith, so again, nothing doing between them just yet. Hughes playing at the back of these 4 players inside lobby, completely flashed right now. It's a wretched flash. They are now going to push their way through. Existence drops 1, gets 2, gets 3, and Existence is absolutely rolling through them right now. Couldn't even get to him before the end of the round. It was that quick. MBK and Smith clean up the final 2 kills, and again, Existence on fire right now. He's 9-2 at the top of the scoreboard. MBK 8-2, Kenny S 8-0, and Husey topping the scoreboard right now in terms of points, but not frags. He's 1 for 6 right now. Best player, Rattlesnake, 3 for 7. So not going too well right now. 7 rounds in, but it's biased a little bit, Simon, because of the way that the CTs and the Ts work.
Indeed, and once again, Rattlesnake being forced to buy Galil here. I don't know if that's intentional, but I would think they would want Rattlesnake to utilize that AWP to open up kills either out towards yard or towards that ramp area.
He's used Galoo a lot, and I know that he does try and save a bit of cash by getting one.
All right.
To then buy AWP if they win a round after this. So could be intentional, probably is intentional to be fair, and he probably had the most amount of money as well. So release with the first one. Kenny S comes back with the second. Kenny coming under a bit of fire in his upper area right now. He's going to have to get some. Divas, brilliant shot though. Pixel, perfect shot from Kenny. Misses the second one. Doesn't matter though. Picks up the pistol and will take down MX for the final kill of the round. And VeryGames are absolutely steamrolling ahead right now. 7-1 in the lead.
All right, what I would like to see from Anexis right now, well, I can't really see a lot of weaknesses in the defense of VeryGames, but I would like to see Anexis utilizing that outer push a lot more, going through Volcano, because obviously that has been the huge difference on this remake of Nuke, which makes it a little bit more balanced. Are we seeing an offensive push here from Exixence?
Maybe. Let's just wait and see if he does decide to go through here. You know what, that grenade would be a nice little follow-up. It's done a little bit of damage in there, and Hughes is already down 49. If he goes now, he might get himself a hatful of frags. He's already got himself a hatful of frags in the game. Go on, you know you want to.
He's itching to push in here, Paul. He is itching.
How would you have so much self-discipline when you really want to do that? Now, he's thrown in a defensive flash there. Scream's got the first one and the second one here as well. They are trying to make their way out into this ramp room. It's not going to make any difference, though. Look at that. Kenny S picks up another double at the end of the round. He still hasn't died, and he's now 12 for 0.
He's got the money right now, Paul, and I have to say, even though, because coming from 1.6 in Source, we are pretty much used to ecos being worthless. But
they're not in Go.
No, in Global Offensive, we see a lot of bombs being planted. We see a lot of rounds actually being won in ecos as well. But what we're seeing from VeryGames is total lockdown in their anti-ecos. They're not losing one single player, and they're not letting Anexis get that plant. So you can't really Anexis can't get that money rolling, so they can't really afford AWPs either. So I'm a little bit worried here for the British side of Anexis.
Yeah. I thought we had double AWP for a moment, but we haven't. It's traditionally a VeryGames strat on train, but not so much on Nuke. Although I have seen them run it in the past when they've had sort of multitude of cash flowing around their bank accounts for being good CTs. And Kenny S still waiting. They've smoked up that outside now, so they are going to try and push round here. Oh, do you know what? That was so close from Kenny S to pick up that first frag. Now they're going to try and get into this upper bomb site. Kenny has picked up the second one. Oh, misses a shot as he goes into that bomb site. There's one for the scrapbook. Now MBK's one. They've got a 2 versus 3 here in Anexis. Kenny S doesn't matter about the AWP. He's going to pick up another kill, screaming with the second, and it's 9-1 now. And this half has become almost more about how many kills Kenny S can pick up without dying than it has about how many rounds Anexis can win.
Yeah, VeryGames is pretty much a train now, just chewing through Anexis. It's just steamrolling. Anexis has no chance whatsoever. And once again, I'm a little bit... I don't know, I'm a little bit surprised to see no AWPs being utilized. Anexis probably has decided about this before going into the game, that they do not want to use AWPs on that T side. But I mean, I've seen this coming out from before with Anexis as well. They want to utilize that AWP, but it doesn't happen until the very last rounds in the first half. So I think we might see an AWP coming out in the last rounds of this half.
Yeah, indeed. Kenny's still waiting again on an outer area. They smoked it, and now he'll wait. Now, can he get a sliver through that smoke? Well, he might be able to, but he's not going to get any frags here at all. Now, why are they going to try and make their way down Volcano? They haven't done so yet. Oh, Kenny, yes, yet again. Nails another one through the smoke. Smith's with a double to back him up. And VeryGames are absolutely on fire right now. There is nothing Anexis can do about it. Weber putting up a little bit of resistance, as I say. That commentator's curse, of course. But it's now a 4v2. Hughesy and Weber remaining. And, well, Hughesy gets dropped as soon as we change over. Weber does. Well, good camera work there, Rollo. Well done. And for those of you asking, can we use Auto Director? No, we can't, because it's just not working very well.
What Auto
Director?
Director?
Zero delay. Therefore, it's just not picking up what it normally picks up in terms of finding action. So we're just having to rely on my very poor, rusty, I might add, camera skills right now. But it doesn't really matter because you're not really missing much. VeryGames are just rolling through Anexis right now on CT side. It's 10-1. And, well, they're going to go for a fast push by the looks of things. Yeah, they are. It's not going to work, though, because Smith's already got himself one. Kenny's got himself another. It's now 2 versus 1. MBK gets himself a double, and that'll be end of the round. Thanks very much, MBK with a triple. And that'll be another round in the bag, 11-1. What, if anything, right now, Walkdown, do you think Anexis can do to change things up? Although they did try and change things up in that last round.
I'll tell you this much. They pushed ramp one round where they got the bomb planted on lower. What we just saw from them was what seemed to be a fast push onto that upper bomb side, stagnated in that door room, and they pretty much were just sitting ducks right there, just being shot down from every angle from VeryGames. If they decide to push onto a bomb site, you can't stop just because you're flashed or smoked. You need to keep moving. Because if you're just standing there, you're just going to die, and we kind of saw that happening as well. I want them to start picking up towards ramp, at least pushing the CT back and just go for that lower bomb site. Utilize the smokes and get that bomb planted, because they need the money, Paul. Really good point that you make as well. That funny enough, when I first started playing Counter-Strike back in the 1.6 days, was that when I got flashed or smoke, I would run away. And it's like the first thing you learn not to do. Yeah, because if you can actually, if you can push in as a team, regardless of being flashed or smoked, you actually, you play a lot better. I still do it in mixes, by the way. My mix team hate me for it. We get Weber in with 1. Existence and Smith will drop 2 though. As MX pops around the corner, gets the first one. Can he get the second one here? Yes, he can. MX doubles up inside the bomb site now. Kenny S is going to have to go huge, and does so. Picks off MX, and Scream picks out Rattlesnake as well. 12-1. And it doesn't seem to matter whatever magic they come up with. Anexis just aren't going to win a round right now. What I want to do now is listen a little bit into what Anexis are saying on comms here.
No, it's nothing to do with bombs. It's just we're getting. Maybe should we go straight ramp or what? 40-second ramp take. Just chill. I think we should. We don't have the opportunity to kill them because we're running through smokes 24/7. Well, I just said it's not smokes. If it wasn't smoke, no, why we're not smokes. These smokes up when we go.
Really, really interesting. We'll have to do that a bit more in the second half as well, listening to them. That was Anexis as Rolex picks up the first kill of the round. Now, what can they do from here? You heard, it sounded almost like there was a bit of disarray in there. Yeah, they were pretty much talking over what to do now, and some of them even said what I was saying as well, we need to push ramp, and then you also heard, we're just pushing through flashes and smokes, it's no point. And when you reach that point, when you feel that whatever you do is useless, you're going to have a hard time picking it up and winning the game. So 12-1, VeryGames leading this, not just leading it, dominating it, as Kenny S gets himself another one. Do you know what, he gets himself a second? I was just going to switch away to try and find Scream, and then Auto Director took it away as well. So Smith will claim the last couple of the round. That's 13-1 at the half. Kenny S has now died, but he is 21 for 1. I mean, there's levels of sick here, right? There's kind of like, sick, and then there's off the chart sick, and then there's vomiting. And then there's Kenny S. Yeah, and then there's Kenny S above that. 21 for 1. He's got 21 kills per death. I mean, that's... I don't want to miss any more. I don't want to miss any more of his kills. So I'm just going to stay with him. They've got 3 men pushing outside here, so there might well be a rush towards that volcano stairs. As Smiths gets the first and the second, MBK the third. Thanks very much. Oh, hello! Final shot of round goes appropriately to Kenny S, who will finish it 22 for 1. Good halves exchanged, but I have to tell you, that wasn't a good half from Anexis. But VeryGames, and particularly Kenny S, were on fire. They held down that CT side of Nuke like it was pretty much their hometown. They knew everything. And they didn't leave room for Anexis to really push out. Even though Anexis got a couple of the first kills in some of the rounds, it didn't really matter for them, because every time VeryGames was up against the wall, the remaining players would just step up and clean up. 14-1. This means the pistol round has to go in favor of Anexis, and as you can see on your monitor as well, Sam is, well, to be honest, he looks a little bit disheartened. Yeah, he does. I tell you, else is disheartened as well. He's played 15 rounds and he's come back, but Hughes has got 1 frag so far. Yeah. Don't be too mean to him, because it is just his comeback game, but you need to be doing more than that now. Already a bit of damage done through the doorway onto Rattlesnake, but it won't make any difference. He picks up the first kill on Kenny S. Now then, is the mother of all comebacks on perhaps here? Existence has to be careful. They've already lost that first man. They know they've done some damage to Rattlesnake, so they'll potentially try and look at this Squeaky. Again, Existence just waiting back. Let's just have a look and see. Well, look at the advanced position they've actually found themselves right now. Outside, Smith has got himself down the volcano stairs and into that lower bomb site. There is a man just behind him, but it's difficult to know whether he's up or down right now. He is going to pop out right now and come under fire from Smith. Somehow gets away with his life with 2 health. Unbelievable. Now smoke goes in. Grenade comes back for him. So a little bit of an exchange of grenades there. Flash goes into the lower site as MBK gets a kill onto release. They're 4 versus 3 right now. Bomb is now planted. Huge round this from VeryGames, and it's going their way. Weber and now MX. They're going to go for a cheeky defuse here, MX, on the bomb plant. No, doesn't quite get there. MBK picks him off at the last possible moment, and it's now a 2 versus 1. Makes no difference. Weber is disposed of, and MBK cleans house. It's 15-1. It's map 1, match point.
And what you actually missed there, Paul, MX headshotting Rattlesnake and taking Rattlesnake out of that round. And
didn't even see it.
You could hear in the background that Sam was not pleased about that. Such an important round. It's not double elim, there's a single elim.
I got a shotgun, so I'm not going to push. Splash.
Yeah, it's all pretty much defeated up there, isn't it? Now they blast down to this upper bomb site. What can they do? Well, the answer is pretty much nothing. It's 2 versus 2, though. Weber is the last man alive as MBK disposes of Fusey. And a 2v1 to save the match in terms of the first map, anyway. And a shotgun in the hand of Weber, who is awkwardly going up and down on the ladder right now. Let's just have a look and see where they are. Screaming MBK on site right now. Weber will know. Now, he thinks they've rotated low. He's wrong. He's now got a huge amount of work to try and rescue this game. Mother of all comebacks? I think this would be the tornado of all comebacks if you come back from here. Right, now up to the upper bomb site. Picked off easily by MBK, and that'll be GG. 16-1, and that is a demolition.
Wow. Imagine being on that Anexis side, knowing that you got one more map here, at least. What do you do? What do you think? I mean, you've been a manager, Paul. You've been through motivating your teammates. I mean, how would you? What would you say to Anexis right now to pep them back, try to motivate them?
Well, I think the first thing is get up out of your seats, get outside, take a bit of fresh air, and chill out, and forget about it. Really, it's hard to say, and well, it's easy to say and hard to do. But you do need to just forget about that last map, and then concentrate on what you're good on. And they know they're good on Dust 2, and they also know they've beaten VeryGames on Dust 2 before as well. Yeah. But I mean, overall, their team play wasn't particularly strong.
No, we didn't really.
I mean, you heard them on the comms. They were saying, "I'm not sure what to do. You know, should we go there? No, we should push ramp. No, we're just getting flashed through the smoke." It's kind of very almost defeatist, really. And that like you said, they get sort of 12, 13 rounds in, and there's nothing they can do because actually everything they've done so far hasn't worked. So what do they do to change? So I think when you're talking about the mental side of the game, what you really need to be doing is just saying, forget that. Well, scrub it off, start again fresh, come back in, much more motivated, clarity, know what you're going to do on Dust 2.
Yeah, I have to say though, but for a team like Anexis to fall short during that game, communication-wise, and not having a leader to tell everyone what to do, even though you're down 15-1, you listen to your call because that's his job.
The thing is, okay, so here's the thing, right? And this is a very personal kind of insight. But Rattlesnake is one of those leaders who is very dominant. He is very loud, he's very leery, and he can rage and he can rant. There's no doubt about that. I know several other game leaders that can do that, and I'm sure you do as well. The point is this. He is usually the dominant force in that team, okay? He's taken some pretty harsh critique from a lot of journalists over the last year or so, and in fact the last few months, about the fact he's a rager on LAN, his team don't like him. Well, here's newsflash for you, right? He's had pretty much the same 5 or 6 guys around him for the last 5 or 6 years, so he can't be doing all that much wrong, okay? No. So even if he appears to us like a bit of a rager on LAN, they obviously respect him. But in that game, and what we heard from the limited comms we heard, was a Sam that actually isn't the Sam that we know and love. He isn't the guy that's out there going, no, we're doing this and we're doing it my way, and you need to do this. Yeah, and that was quite unusual. So maybe the criticism has affected him in such a way that he feels that maybe he has to be a bit more, I don't know, democratic perhaps. But to be honest with you, he needs to be the Margaret Thatcher of Anexis right now. That's what he needs to be.
All right, so you brought out Margaret Thatcher, did you? All right, so Twitch TV chat's gonna love that. But yeah, I have to say, I respect him a lot as well, because obviously everyone wants to keep around him and wants to keep playing with him, but he needs to be strict, because that's
I think he does.
The only time I heard him pretty much screaming behind me was that round when he got team killed by MX.
Yep.
So but
that annoys the crap out of him. I know that for a fact.
Well, yeah,
but if that annoys him now, and it gets him fired up for the second map, then that's fine, isn't it? That works.
Maybe MX
Tell
team
you what
kill.
we'll do.
Yeah.
Why don't you swap him for Sam and we'll get Sam out here?
All right.
Oh, look at that. We've got some cheerfuls being done in the audience. Can I take that? Lovely. Look at that. Oh, it's War Clown and Red Eye. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that on there. You probably just about see that. That's awesome. Thank you, Dominic. We'll keep that one. Hands off.
All right.
I've touched your hands before and I know where they've been. Anyway, let's go back to Sean.
Thank you very much, Paul. I enjoy that you guys are having a little bit of bromance over there, and I'm also jealous that people are making beautiful pictures for you. What I'm doing now is sitting on the couch with somebody who comes kind of from the other side of the wonderful RaidCall EMS 1 series, and that is Jared, joining from the Dota side. How are you doing today, Jared?
Doing really, really good. I first checked out the stream earlier today when I was at home. I was watching Absolute Legends, and I'm familiar with them most of all, and really it was very, very one-sided. And that's just interesting to me, because comparing that to like Dota 2, for instance, it's a lot more exchanging, a lot more even, but they were just completely dominating. That was nuts.
And now we're back in a match where we've got a French team going against an English team with the VeryGames and Anexis. Would you have a favorite there? Do you have somebody that you'd like to see go through, or a pick for the guys at home?
I don't really have a personal favorite for it, because, like I said, I'm like not that well versed with Counter-Strike in particular, but VeryGames also, it was the same thing with Absolute Legends. It was just completely dominating. I just want to know why that is. It just seemed like it was just during the entirety of it all, just done.
Well, I can see Pansy standing right over here, so maybe we can get a question with her in a moment, but she's already given me the kill sign, so I'm guessing that'll be on camera in a second. Stick around for that, but for now we're going to head over to a commercial break. Stick around for lots more RaidCall EMS1 action right here with VeryGames and Anexis. Stick it.
Professional grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy to use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
RaidCall. Communication for winners. Yeah.
Well, hello there. Welcome back to the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup Finals 2013 for $35,000. Warclown alongside me on Red Eye, of course, and we're going to be bringing you map number 2 of VeryGames versus Anexis. The first map was, well, let's just brush over.
It was a close one. Oh, well, it wasn't.
It was close to being one-sided as you could possibly get it. That was about as close as it was.
Yeah.
16-1, so massive score for VeryGames. We're going to drop you into map 2, which is going to be Dust 2. Now, this is Anexis' strong map and stronger map, and they've also already beaten VeryGames on this before at Mad Cats Birmingham just a week ago. So let's see how they get on. Knife round to start things off. And, war, I be a pirate, slashing and a hacking. Jumping at me bits, and yar, matey, with those blades be shining and shivering and silvering and slicing through and... Come on, finish up. Ah, there we go.
There we go.
2 left for VeryGames. So VeryGames winning that one in the pirate knife round. I even said pirate there as a pirate. I don't know why. Pirate. I don't know.
But yeah, once again, VeryGames picks up the knife round. And I mean, coming off of that 16-1 first map victory and then onto that second map where you get to decide which side to start first, I mean, it couldn't have gone any better for VeryGames as well, could it?
Nope. No, well, I think, not losing one round would have been the only thing that could have been done.
Come on, Paul.
Could have done 16-0. I mean, for crying out loud.
Come on.
They call themselves professional players and only win 16-1.
You always want to make it look bad.
Calm down, Switch chat. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
That's what that was.
All right.
Right
all right.
So we are ready for map 2. These two guys two teams will get underway shortly. Predictions, Simon? Do you think that we've seen an enormous gulf of class between these two teams, the way it stands right now, and that VeryGames are just going to steamroll this second map as well, or do we feel that maybe Anexis can get back into this?
I hope Anexis can get back into it. If this was the first map, I would predict Anexis to win it. But coming up from that 1-16 deficit or loss even, I'm a little bit uncertain if Anexis can be able to pick up this second map. But anyways, we're live in game.
We are live, so let's drop you into the game now. And we are underway.
So at least we can be. We're spectating it right now from Kenias, who is flashed over at that B-bomb. So we need to get in game here, Mr. Producer. He's. Here we go.
Okay. We are actually 1 minute and 15 from the end of the round. Looks like we've got a long push right now. And yeah, 4 men all the way down long A already in towards that A bomb site as they now try and rain down. A grenade does land right on the top of the head of Existence, and Rattlesnake and Release have picked up 3 in a row. Into this A bomb site they go. Bomb is actually a long way behind them. What are they doing with that bomb? Waiting to get it planted. It was Husey who had the bomb in his hand, and they've got a 5 versus 2 right now. And this is on for Anexis right at the start of this round, but MBK picks up 1. Now, who have we got left right now? I'm desperately trying to find MBK, who's got himself a 2nd in the round. He's got to go big, though. He's got to go huge, and he's not able to. Release picks up his 2nd of the game. In fact, his 3rd of the round, and Anexis have won the opening round. Now, how much more confidence will that give them?
That will give them all the confidence in the world. I mean, it doesn't matter that they just lost that round. They know that, that first map. They know that they're on their 2nd map. They know that it's their map, and they've won the first pistol round, which is so important. So now, if I can predict from this, Anexis is going to pick up their 2nd map, Paul.
Wow, based on 1 round.
Yep.
That's
brave.
How much, don't be starting a bet about going naked or anything like that, okay? Too early, too soon.
You're just talking about that way too much. You dug that, bro.
I dug my own hole, I know that much. Round 2, Anexis having won the opening pistols, and Existence now waiting mid for any sign of danger from the T-sided Brits. Husey waiting along with Weber. No call just yet. No one with bomb at the moment either, as they wait. Weber comes through the doors. There is actually only 1 man covering A. They're going to flash down into pit anyway. Release now making his way simultaneously in towards B. Now, is he probably going to be the distraction? Now, they pop down into ramp with Weber. Long-range shots here towards that A bomb site. It's going to get called, but they've only shown 1 man down there, and it doesn't really matter because Rattlesnake's picked up the first. Release is now desperately trying to pick up the 2nd one. Dancing around, we switch away. Stupid auto-director. That's why we're not going to be using auto-director anymore.
Once again, it switches away.
It will not stay on the player for long enough. So those calling for auto-director, sorry, it's not going to happen because it's on a 0 delay, and that means it's just not able to pick up the frags quickly enough. Now, Kenny S unleashed 1 single bullet there, and has now managed to get himself through into mid, then takes a little bit more damage through the doors as well. He's got 3 men waiting for him, and Husey will pick up the frag, and Anexis will pick up the round.
Yeah, I mean, VeryGames not really well, I would say VeryGames will be happy about that eco. They managed to pick up 2 kills onto Anexis, and every time you can get more 2 or more kills with an eco, you've taken quite the amount of cash off of your opponents. So I think that is acceptable, and I think VeryGames are happy about that. And we see some sort of a stack here over towards long from VeryGames.
Yep, they've gone for a 5-man over that way right now, and actually Rattlesnake just starting to come up onto long. Might just be able to get himself round here without being seen. There's just 1 man on site, which is Existence, so we're going to get Existence versus Rattlesnake face to face. Now, they've all come back towards that bomb site. The 3 men on site right now as Husey picks up the first one. Rattlesnake now trying to wait for that AWP next round. Gets nailed by Smith jumping down. He'll get the revenge frag coming in from MX, though, as they now try and make their way on towards that A site. It's a grenade over the top, and now Release trying to go back. They're actually going to switch right back over to the B bomb site now on a 2 versus 1. And Kenny is going to go hunting for a weapon right now. Has got himself, well, not a rifle, but he's got himself a pistol. Checks that one as well. And now, do you know what? He's going to walk in here right as Weber gets there, and he's about to plant the bomb. Now, if he's cheeky enough here and wants to take it on, but the cover is good. 53 points of health here from Kenny, and Weber will pick up the frag. Well done, Anexis. So they convert their 3rd round. Expensive 3rd round, but nevertheless, it's 3-0.
Okay, so Kenny S, guys, AWP going. Let's see, Rattlesnake has yet to buy, but wow, he's... Rattlesnake has picked up that AK, so once again we see no AWPs coming out from Anexis. Rattlesnake was playing with an AK a lot during Mad Cats in Birmingham, and he played well with it as well. But I mean, I think Rattlesnake needs an AWP here for Dust 2.
I'm surprised because he looked like he ecoed that last round to do exactly that. So didn't get a...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, didn't get a frag, and therefore has fallen a bit short. So odd, very odd. As Kenny S picks up the first one of the round with an absolutely pinpoint accurate AWP shot onto MX in mid, and has now switched his defence to this B tunnels, and he might get himself another couple here. Oh, switched away and then picked off a much harder shot on release. And so far this round, it's Anexis 0, Kenny S 2. Just going to stay with him a little bit longer. Actually, we might have to switch away because Webber and Rattlesnake are trying to make their way through now. I'm not quite sure what Hughesy's doing right now. As Kenny tries to pick up another one in mid. Scream's also there as well. He's now waiting as they try and get in towards the other bomb site. It's Existence who's got himself the frag. Desperately trying to find someone out. Existence just drops Hughesy right at the end of the round. I'm sure what Hughesy was doing in that round. He seemed totally disconnected from the rest of his team. And VeryGames pick themselves up the first round.
Might be a little bit of a sign here that he's been out of the game for so long and he's just now come back, and he's a little bit disconnected, I would say so myself. And VeryGames picking up that first weapons round. Rattlesnake finally got that up in hand. Did not at all get that pick through the doors. So no, he wants to go for the safe kills here, I think, Paul.
Right, didn't even fire off that time round. So let's see how they're doing right now. It's Existence who's opened things up for VeryGames. Kenny S has got himself the second here. MBK, ooh, just switched away from that long A looking. And has now had to back away all the way towards CT spawn. It's just Hughesy down there right now. Webber and Release in a 4 versus 3. VeryGames have the advantage of a man. Can they convert that even further? Kenny S still waiting. Smoker's cleared mid for him now as well. And there is one man in those lower B tunnels, but nothing doing so far. Now look at this. Webber and Hughesy have got themselves onto the edge of long A. MBK, though, just nails Webber, no problem at all. And Hughesy now on Release are the last two alive. And Hughesy on his own here with the bomb, as Release has been disposed of on the other side of the map. So I wonder if they think that both men were there. No, they've got his number here. No problem at all. Stunning little headshot from Hughesy. Fantastic from Hughesy. Double headshots from him. Into the bomb site he goes. It was a 3v1. It's now a 1v1. And this is game on. This is Hughesy of old right now. 1 versus 3. Down to a 1v1. Two stunning little double headshots. And Hughesy's now looking the wrong way. He's going to get picked here. Oh my word! What a clutch from Hughesy! Oh my word, that is absolutely fantastic from the Brit.
Oh my
God. A 1v3 right from the very top draw.
And just as we were saying that Hughesy seems disconnected, he's been away too long from the game. He clutches that 1v3 with only headshots. Wow, that last frag. Yeah, I'm speechless.
I'd like to remark at this point as well, it was only you that said he'd been out of the game for a long bit and he was a bit rusty. I never said a word.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but this clutch has sparked quite the kickoff here from Anexis. Just keeps on picking up rounds now.
The thing is now is that seems to have given them a little bit of confidence. 4 men just blast in towards the B bomb site, get that bomb planted very quickly. Webber's got himself a frag here as well. MBK and Existence last two alive, and I don't know, it's just little moments like that. I remember when they played NIP earlier on in the RaidCall EMS 1 season, and they lost a round where they were 14-11 up, and they lost the round in a 1 versus 3 against Get Right, and it just changed everything. It changed the whole complexion of the game, and they ended up losing 16-14. I wonder, is that their Get Right moment right there? Existence now through the double doors has got himself one. He'll do well to survive here, but well, I think they're running away towards CT spawn. Indeed they are. And MBK and Existence both keep their guns. And Anexis lead 5-1. This is going swimmingly well right now, thanks to a moment of brilliance from Hughesy.
Yeah, building upon that round from Hughesy, that 1v3, you saw that straight off the bat, Anexis just rushed into that B-bomb site. They didn't play it out patient, because I think that round reminded every single player of Anexis that, oh, all right, whenever we rush and just utilize our aim, we kind of get out on top. They got the one of the teams with the best aimers, I would say.
Into round 7. Rattlesnake leading the troops once more. They're going to try and get into that B-bomb site quickly again, and they're having lots of success in there right now. Scream disposed of once more. Release into the site. 3 of them are in that site right now. Rattlesnake did just catch the sight of one of the heads of the CTs, but it doesn't make any difference. He's going to get the bomb Well, not quite planted just yet. The first one, he just wanted to be absolutely sure that they could get this bomb done. Now, 3 versus 3 right now. Time for Rattlesnake to go huge here. Weber, release. Rattlesnake remain. And Rattlesnake flashed out as they try to enter through the hole in the wall. Rattlesnake's in the perfect position right now to pick up the first frag. Does so. Nails down on MBK. The 2 men remaining. Comes in behind. Existence gets the frag. It's a 2 versus 1. And he's disposed of. And Anexis leads 6-1.
This is the Anexis, isn't it? They are playing so well. I mean, VeryGames just came off a LAN victory at Mad Cats. They're really strong at the moment. I'm not sure if they can beat NIP.
Let's just give it a little bit of VeryGames. Or not, as the case may be. I mean, it's all going to be in French anyway, but I just wanted to see what their mood was like, because you can still tell what they're like. Yeah. And they're having a lot of success at B, and that's exactly where they've decided to try and hit again. But this time round, they've come into the full force of Kenny S. And have decided to slow things down a little bit. 3 rounds in a row, they've just rushed into that bomb site after Hughesy's incredible 1v3. And it's worked for them as well. Bit more positivity from the Brits. And VeryGames just floundering a little bit on the back foot right now. But things have slowed right down. Rattlesnake now trying to make his way through mid. He's got release coming to join him right now. MX is there. Hughes is also there now. On to short they go. Flash goes in. Rattlesnake makes his move. Smoked up on short. A little bit far on the other side of the map right now. This does look like the hit. There's 2 of them on short right now. I couldn't count for a moment. Meanwhile, Scream, who hasn't had the big shot so far, it has to be said. Smith has picked off 1 in mid, which is release. Still, they try and find a bomb site. Running out of time here. 25 seconds remain as MBK now picks up. They try and make their way into the A bomb site. Get down left, right and centre by MBK, Existence and Smith in quick succession. And VeryGames get themselves a round on the board for the first time in 6.
Indeed, I mean, Anexis has been playing really offensively and just playing it out direct all the time, it feels like. But when they got a little bit of opposition on B and Weber got taken out at the start of the round, they played it out passively for the rest, and they did manage to pick up 1 kill onto VeryGames. So I think Anexis just needs to keep the offensive playstyle going, and that's exactly what they were doing right now.
Huh. Flash, 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 and we're all white. And now we're all right. Smith's the opening kill of the round. Hughesy comes back in for the revenge. He gets himself a second as they go in towards this bomb site. They've now managed to get into the A bomb site for the first time in a long time. Smoked up. It's planted for long. And it's now a 4v3. Now, where's this going to come from? Scream fancies this one a little bit. Head gets chopped off by Kenny S. Now a 3 versus 3. Flashes into mid. Kenny S completely blind, as are we. Still waiting to clear. Scream now, make his way forward. Kenny S now the last man alive. Scream the last man alive. He's picked off by MX. And Anexis with a really, really positive rush down long, short A and a quick plant.
And that's what we're seeing. Every round Anexis picks up. They just play it, they just rush in, no respect for their opponents at all the confidence in the world, and they have no problem taking any of the bomb sites. They got A, they got B. But when they fall back and play it out passively and go for those 1v1s against VeryGames, it seems as though VeryGames will come out on top. So once again, we do see a little bit of a passive play here from Anexis. I'm not sure if that is the correct decision right now.
Interestingly as well, still no AWP for Rattlesnake. Did have 1 round with it early on, had a chance to buy that round and decided not to. It's obviously a strategic decision to not buy it. Now, 3 men looking towards mid here. One of them is Weber, who picks up the frag on Smith. Existence is now going to have to try and make his way towards that mid area as Scream replies back. Weber gets a 2nd kill down there. Now Hughesy, he's sort of playing the rear gunner right now, which is why... I don't know why the auto-director switched him, I really don't. It doesn't really matter right now because they're in the B bomb site. MX has picked himself up another frag on Kenny S, but they're both low. 3 of them are all very low. MBK's only got 18 health as well. And you know what? He might be able to do this, you know, if he just gets a little bit of luck here. Inside the bomb site, goes through the smoke. 2 in front of him, 1 with 1 HP. Just needs to flick him on the forehead, but it's not going to make any difference. MX is the man that comes up big. And Anexis win another round, but that was closer than it needed to be.
It was indeed. Pretty much 4 players remaining there on the map, and adding all the players together, you wouldn't get 100 HP. That was pretty much as close as it gets, and that could have been around for VeryGames, but I mean, it's going to be hard to push in, even though everyone's low. They will be set up for crossfire and everything, so Anexis is just playing really well at this stage. Hopefully we'll see VeryGames setting up for good offensive strategies as T as well.
The first map on Nuke was 16-1 if you're just joining us, and seemingly doesn't make any difference to Anexis. They completely put it out of their minds right now. VeryGames on an eco now. They've been dealt with easily inside the B bomb site. There'll be an easy bomb plant for the Brits here, and this should be a conversion to 9-2. Just MBK, Existence and Smiths remain, and I'm not sure how much they want of this one. Well, they might try and get an exit kill on a gun. Well, MBK's got himself one, as he no. Husey right now, top scorer, 12-5. It's made you shut up, hasn't it?
No, it hasn't. Stop blaming me. I called him to be the MVP before the game, didn't I?
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. You did actually, at the top of the show. At the top of the show, you did actually say he's the one guy that you want to look out for. He had a miserable nuke, he really did. He only got 1 frag on the first half. Not sure he got 1 on the second half either. So after that one, hello, AWP's out.
There we go.
It's AWP time, ladies and gents, and it's not a mid-pick though. He's going to go for the B pick, having spawned left side of T spawn, which is why you've seen him rushing that way right now. Had to dodge out of the way of his own teammate there. Now, head pops up here. Ooh, hello. Not quite the shot that you'd have expected. Then takes a face full of grenade. It won't matter though. They've got MX going into the bomb site. And that's the nice thing. Even though the AWPers missed the shot, if you've got the cover there, it makes them run backwards. Now, Scream gets 1 before being disposed of by Release. Rattlesnake waiting now inside that bomb site. Husey on the hunt for some frags now. Might just find himself 1 in mid here. If he rushes that door, he will, but he's not going to. Now, 1 man in CT spawn. Gets his head ripped from his shoulders by Husey. And it's now a 4 versus 2. This is going to be 10-2, no doubt about it. It's also going to confirm the Brits have a very, very good lead at the end of the first half, regardless of whatever happens in the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, picking up that 10th round, Anexis will feel very secure about it. Let's listen into the teams and see how they're feeling.
Let's have a quick listen to VeryGames. Well, they seem to be having buy issues more than anything else. What about Anexis?
I'm doing a stupid flash. It's going to probably blind you guys. Pump flashes a bit. Okay, I'm doing it. Ready? Pump flashes.
So some stupid flashes that might blind everyone, but other than that, they seem quite happy though. The difference is noticeable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I want to point out that even though VeryGames are losing, you could hear the leadership and still being intact, still being strict, and everyone's still listening to him. So that's good to see, and that's why VeryGames always perform well.
Some shots coming through that mid area right now. Is Husey just dodging around? I said he was disconnected early on. What I meant is that he was very disconnected from the positions of the other players on his team, which is understandable. If they haven't been able to practice the strats very long and the timing isn't quite there, then it's not surprising as MBK starts things off nicely for VeryGames. In fact, he's got himself 2 right now. MX the only one to reply, and Existence now gets himself a double, and this is a VeryGames round. Rattlesnake, the last man alive here, with an AWP. He's flashed out long. They're just going to pincer him right now, and he'll do very well to get out of it. No! Picked off by a triple from MBK in that round. And they've got to be careful, Anexis. Don't want to let this one run away from them. It's their game to lose now, and 10-3 is still a very healthy scoreline, but I want those next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean,
if I were them.
Yeah, even though they were up 10-1 or whatever, the thing is, if you lose the last 5 rounds, then the momentum has shifted on to VeryGames, and then they go onto the easy side of the map. So it's easy to start losing rounds in this game. You just need to you just keep up the good play here, Anexis. Don't slow down. Keep playing offensive and rush those bomb sites, because you're doing one hell of a job, to be honest.
So no one's lost anyone so far. Well, actually, make that one. Smiths with a triple. Where did that come from? He's been dealt with by Rattlesnake, who was mid, and has now been flashed. But it's now a 4 versus 2, thanks solely to Smith's triple. Rattlesnake under a bit of pressure here on short. He's got Husey left with him. They're both on short as well, so at least they're connected this time. Now, which way around is it going to be? Smoke into mid. Is going to drop down. Actually, it's slightly awkward. Not quite covering that mid area enough. And Rattlesnake now flashed over the top. They're surely just going to blast out here, are they? Yes, they are. Scream picks up the first one. Hughesy, they're replying back. It's now a 3 versus 1. We've seen this before somewhere. Now, Hughesy, gets picked off from the corner of B by Kenny S. And VeryGames have got themselves 2 rounds in a row now. And I think that might just be enough for them when they switch over. They'll want this last one, though. And a mixed bag of weapons by the looks of things for Anexis. A little bit short on cash, but, well, actually Rattlesnake's got himself an AWP, so not totally short.
I would have to say that VeryGames needs the 5th round here, the 15th round even, to be able to climb back as T here on this map. So they've got it all to do this round. And once again, I'm a little bit surprised to see Anexis not going for that offensive straight off the bat push onto a bomb site, because I think they've won 9 out of 10 when they've done that. So, oh well. Who am I to judge Rattlesnake?
Oh, have a look. Kenny S with the opening kill. Didn't even need the headshot on MX on short. And now VeryGames will want to push this advantage home. Smoke deployed in the mid to stop Kenny from doing any more damage. Meanwhile, Rattlesnake's managed to make his way all the way through double doors and long. And does have 2 men with him. Now they're going to call it this way because there's 49 seconds remaining. Bomb is currently in the hand of Release, who is not with them at long here. So I think they're going to wait and see whether Rattlesnake makes the pick here. And he does make the pick with a stunning little shot on Smiths. And now we're at 4v3. The call has been made from VeryGames. They're already making their way towards A. 30 seconds remaining now. Release is now dashing towards that bomb site. Rattlesnake, he gets picked off from MBK, who was low. Hughesy comes back with a reply. Release him with a second. It's now a 2 versus 2. Release is then dropped, and it's now a 1 versus 1. Kenny S, couldn't win the round. Not the first time and not the second time. 15 seconds remaining. Bomb gets planted. Big round for both teams now. 10-4. Is it 11-4 at the half or 10-5? We're about to find out. Release versus Kenny S for the round for the last one of the half. Smoke deployed now on the site. Kenny S makes his way closer towards it. He's going to use the wall to try and hop over the top, and he's going to be right on top.
Wow.
It's a fantastic shot from Kenny S. Release was waiting there perfectly. Sam shakes his head. He can't believe he didn't win that round. And VeryGames have got a 5 on the board. It's 10-5 at the half.
That is a completely different scoreline than what we expected.
He's such a rager, that Rattlesnake, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see it in it. Like he's silent angry now. He's not the one we're used to seeing. He's now raging whilst being polite. That's what we're seeing. But yeah, so basically we got a little hint of what we're going to see coming out from Anexis for this pistol round in the second half. Yep. And we are going live now, so let's head straight back into the game.
Absolutely. Hughesy top of the scoreboard right now, 15-8. And the team's pretty much, it's fairly even across the board on both teams. But Scream, notably, 6 for 12 as we head in to the first half. The first round of the second half, with Anexis leading 10-5. First map went the way of VeryGames. The French cleaning off the Brits in really easy fashion with a 16-1 thrashing. But this time round, look at this, VeryGames piling onto the A bomb site. And they've got control of it as well. There was no one there. You heard what they were going to do, push 3 towards B. And that's exactly what Anexis did, and VeryGames took full advantage of it. Now we wait. Here comes the take-back. They are going to use short as the take-back push. First shot comes in from MBK. It's a stunning little shot as well. Right on top of the head. It's 1 for 1. They're exchanging frags now inside the bomb site. Couple of really big frags from Existence now. Kenny S and Existence with a 3rd. And that is VeryGames' pistol round, and this is very much now game on for VeryGames.
It is. We are going to look at an 8-10 scoreline unless Anexis pick up an eco round here. And 10-8, that's a completely different scoreline than what we were expecting, considering the first, let's say the first 80% of the first half. Anexis was just so on form. I have to say I'm looking forward to the 4th round here because I think I know what Anexis are setting up for that 4th round. I think they will be going for an offensive pick in middle with an AWP.
Let's wait and see whether that one turns out to be true. Existence and Scream and Kenny S all picking up a frag. I chose to go with MBK that round because he's currently top scorer on the VeryGames half, and he picks off the final one of the round. So 10-7, and as Walkdown already said, looking at an 8-10 score line now for the French.
Oh, early buy coming out from...
Unless there's an early buy, was what I was about to say, but I wanted to say it very quietly, just in case they can. I don't think they can hear us at all, frankly, but let's just see what goes on now. So an early smoke at long from VG. Anexis all kitted up with FAMAS. And they've sort of given the game away a little bit by shooting the FAMAS at long. I wouldn't have done that personally, but that's why they're paid and I'm not. MBK is the man who opens things up. Top scorer for VeryGames so far on Dust 2. Just want to flick away from them and see where they're... Actually, do you know what? Let's just see what they're doing right now, because they've got a 4-1 split, 4 of them looking towards B. MBK is going to be the nuisance on short here. And he's only got Rattlesnake to battle, so if they get the pick there, they might just rotate from here. But right now, it does look as if this is going to be the push into the B bomb site. Smith's leading the charge. Man alongside him is Kenny S with the bomb. It's going to be Kenny S in towards the bomb site as they try and make their way into it. The call was made by Rattlesnake. He knows there's only one man on short now. Smith then picks up the frag on release, tries to get the second through the door. Smoke will be deployed and bomb should be able to be gotten here, but they managed to drop it somewhere inside the bomb site. Finally, it's picked up, and then a little bit of toss the caber going on inside that B bomb site. Smith will now get it planted. 3v3. Big round this one, especially because Anexis bought early. Can they convert this one? In towards the bomb site they go. Rattlesnake still waiting for any sign of life. Goes in, sprays actually as he goes into the site, but it worked well. They picked up 2. Oh, can they pick up the 3rd? They can! Husey with the last kill of the round. He doesn't have a kit. Should be okay, will be okay. And the early 3rd round by magic comes out from Anexis.
I can't believe they actually went for that early buy. That is such a risk, and they weren't really in a position where they could risk it either, I would say. VeryGames being on the easier side, having the better weapons. Wow. Well, that's why they're paid, and I'm not, I guess, as you were saying. Just a phenomenal play.
It's why they're paid to play and we're paid to talk about it.
Yeah. All right.
Amazing. What were you saying? There was going to be a 4th round buy, and I was pretty much, you're probably right. And then I see like all 5 men already. I'm like, hey, wait, what's going on? Unbelievable. Fantastic round. Great strats from Anexis. Right from the Sam Gorn Black Book of Plays, I can tell you that.
I'm going to make a copy of that after this game.
Have you seen him using it, by the way? Have you ever seen him using his little black book?
No.
No, you should see it. It's a work of art. 11-7 right now in favour of Anexis. They've stopped the rot, and they've also stopped it becoming 10-8, which, you know, just having those 4 rounds as a cushion rather than the 2 rounds now on a bye is just so much nicer for them. They're also just 5 away from sending us to 3 maps. I almost didn't think it was possible after watching Nuke. Seems the Anexis boys take a little bit of time to warm up. But boy, are they on fire right now. Scream the only man who's lost any health this time round. Looks like they're setting up for an A here with 4 on short. And indeed, here they go, in towards the bomb site. Flashes are deployed. Kenny S has to stare at the wall quite a long time. Rattlesnake opening things up nicely. Gets the first, MX with the second. Now, Kenny S, can he get the kill on Rattlesnake here? No, he can't. Rattlesnake will dispose of him for his second of the round. Now, Scream, last man standing here, in towards the bomb site. 4 versus 1. Rattlesnake waiting for him on the other side. Still with the FAMAS as well, and he's going to get picked off long range from long A by release in the end, and an AK for his wares as well for Rattlesnake. 12-7 now.
And that's going to be, well, that's going to force VeryGames onto an eco here. And that means another round on the board for Anexis, so we will be looking at a 13-7 scoreline. This does look like Anexis will prevail here on the second map, and we will be looking at Inferno for the 3rd and final map. Going a little bit ahead of me there.
4 men in B tunnels right now. MBK again playing that Lone Ranger man. They like the 4-1 split to the French. I've seen Imaginary doing it quite a lot as well. And is it going to be a 4-man push through mid? If it is, I tell you what, this man is going to fill his boots right now, which is going to be MX. No, he's been down, so unfortunately He wasn't able to get a single kill out of that. That flash was perfect. It was also perfect for us as well. And look at this. MBK drops down and picks up the kill on Rattlesnake. It's now a 2 versus 1, but Husey will deal with him easily. And as Simon rightly predicted, Anexis do pick up the eco round. It's an eco bash. It's 13-7.
Well, great eco by VeryGames, but in the end they didn't get the bomb planted, which means they didn't really get that much money out of that round. But they do have enough money to do a full buy now. We got an AWP in hand also for Kenya, so he's probably going for that mid pick.
Yeah, quite possibly. The other thing to remember now is, oh, hello, look, we've got the clever stack in mid. Right now, I can just see it at the top of the scope from Kenny S. Now, I just wonder, look, look up, look behind you. Oh, my goodness, he's going to get one. Can he get the second? No, he can't. Oh, my word. I love that little stack, and it's so not used that much. I don't understand why. I have seen it used before by absolute legends who did it. Whoa, hello. What was that headshot from? Scream, I don't even know how he saw him there. That was incredible. Must have been just as the smoke cleared and he saw no more than at least a pixel of his head. And that seems to be all he needs. So, good round from VeryGames now. I'm going to come back to what I was saying just a moment ago because it's 4 versus 2. Bomb about to go down. One man is short of health, which is his existence, who's only got 8. So, if they want to go for this, they have an opportunity. I don't think they'll fancy it somehow. They've got a bit of cash in the bank. 2 weapons as well would mean they'll be fine. What I was going to say was that if VeryGames lost this one, that would be 14-7, and they would then be back on an eco again because they've got like $200 between them.
Important round.
Which would then make it 15-7. So this was a huge round for VeryGames. And it looks like they're going to pick it up as well. Husey has got himself a frag, but it's to no avail because Existence is going to dispose of him for his second of the round. And just MX remaining now, who will save this from us. And it will be 13-8. And VeryGames not done just yet. Let's have a quick listen into them.
On fait exactement pareil. S'il a pas tiré, c'est parce qu'il était tout blanc, il dit. Ouais, mais check à droite en haut.
And what about Anexis?
Where's my info gone? Oh, I picked up. No, I haven't even got a gun. I haven't even got a gun. They're fast down. There's a one now. I'm blind.
Okay, so one man was not picking up a weapon in spawn, which that's not clever. As Release drops down into the B-bomb site. Will take a little bit of shot fire, but he hasn't got any damage done to him so far. There are 5 men. Lovely grenade over the top from VeryGames. Will knock off 53 of Release's precious health points. But a grenade back did nothing. Well, actually, all right, I lie. It did 1 health damage to Kenny S. As Rattlesnake's getting things going. He's got himself the opening kill of the round here, albeit that he's now down to 8 points out. So lots of health stripped off from Anexis, but no kills. Chance for them to convert this one for a 14-8 lead. Would really take them so close to tying this one up at 1-1. That in itself would be huge. Existence gets a short kill on Husey. Rattlesnake will set himself up at Carter Waite. 4 versus 4 now. Tense round this one. Weber gets himself a kill on Smith. So 4 versus 3. Make that 3 versus 3. They're just exchanging frags left, right and centre right now. As MX, oh look at this, he's come round behind them. They had no idea he was there. Flash is going to go down. Weber's picked up one in there as well. And now Scream is the last man alive. Oh, stunning little headshot from him though. Nailed by Rattlesnake in the back. And then Nexus win a massive round and lead 14-8.
VeryGames doesn't have that much money now. They have to go on a light buy pretty much here if they want to go for the buy. Are they? In fact, they are not going for that early buy. They will be going on over towards map point here for a Nexus and then try to get it back. Look, got big balls.
Well, they have, and Rattlesnake got a sliver of a VeryGames player, and it was just enough for the VeryGames player to get away. That time he got more than a sliver, got a face full of a VeryGames player, didn't manage to take him down. Husey picks up the first one. There was a frag back in from Existence. That's all they've put up so far. MBK now with another one. It's 2 versus 2. A point-blank range shot from a Rattlesnake doesn't connect with its intended victim. It's not going to make any difference, though, because MX is doubling up with the AWP. Taking a little bit of a strat out of the VeryGames book here with double AWPs. And it's 15-8. It's map point, and they've got 7 of them now, Anexis. And we'll be heading in to 1-1 if they can take just one more. And it's now or never for VeryGames in terms of this particular round, because they have full bought. As you can see, Kenny S picks up the door bang on MX. It was an AWP versus AWP shot as well. And MBK gets a second one here. So Anexis not quite ready to go and win this map just yet. The Belgian Franco team have managed to march their way into the B bomb site. Have got the bomb set with all 5 men and not a single point of health taken away from them. And I think we're going to be finding out this is going to be nothing more than a tactical save with some exit kills coming in here from Anexis. So just gives me a quick chance to have a quick look at the scoreboard. 21-13 from Fusey. Not a monster game, but a very good game. As wow, look at that. Weber and Rattlesnake both got themselves a killer piece as they were AWPing from short A. And they're just trying to get rid of that. Oh, that was a nice little shot actually from Weber. Good thinking as well. I love when you see a little bit of clever thinking from a player. Just in case they ran up there and decided to nick 2 AWPs from them, he is actually going to save that one. So 15-9. Back to the scoreboard. 21-13. Not a monster game from Husey, but considering he's been away for so long playing football or some other daft sport, it's actually a really good score. MX 18, Rattlesnake 17, Weber 13, Release 15. Solid scores on both teams, actually, has to be said.
Everyone's pitching in, and Weber opens up with a kill. Onto X6s as well. It's going to be huge that for Anexis. It's pretty much up to Kenny S here, I think, Paul, to bring it back.
He needs to find something right now, although MBK's opened things up. He's doing rather well for VeryGames here too. 4 versus 4 now. 15-9, nicely poised. Anexis on the verge of taking the second map to tie us up at 1-1. But not just yet. Things slowed down a little bit here. Scream trying to make his way through in towards that B-bomb site, plus a stunning little headshot into Husey. Rattlesnake, meanwhile, has also picked himself up a frag, so a 3 versus 3 now. Tense round. Minute remaining. All the pressure on the French. Scream, Kenny S, and Smith remain. Still with Scream. There's one man in mid covering that mid area, but they are trying to make their way over towards this long A. 43 seconds remaining. And Smith now set with the grenade in hand. Man on the right-hand side is Kenny S. He's going to wait. Flash goes in. Here's the trick smoke off the top window between those two. It's going to fall down into mid CT spawn. You haven't seen it just yet, but it will do, trust me. It's now deployed. Smith creeps up. They've covered that CT spawn area, but have they covered it well enough? There it is. It's a perfect smoke, in fact. Rattlesnake now picks up another frag in the round. He's got himself 2. It's now a 3 versus 2. Time running down. 13 seconds remaining. Smith gets the bomb planted, and Kenny S picks up a stunning little frag. 2 versus 2. It's 2 AWPs versus 1, with Smith on an AK inside the head, inside the bomb site. If he pops up now, his head is going to be ripped from his shoulders. It is! It's destroyed by Weber's AWP, and that is game and map for Anexis. 16-9.
Not much of a reaction coming out from Anexis there. It's tuning up their communications there, but not really saying anything. Oh well. I have to say, VeryGames, they can't really feel too let down by that. But I will say this, Anexis has got the upper hand here coming into the third map, having that momentum from that second game. And also, I would say VeryGames, how they play Inferno is pretty much public knowledge by now. They know that VeryGames play it out offensively, and I mean, it's not like they're going to be caught off guard.
No, I think you're right. I think Inferno is one of those. I said earlier on, it's a bit of a coin toss map between these two teams. I think I've seen an Anexis player, I haven't seen them with Husey, of course, but with PRB in the past, look pretty decent on Inferno at times, but they've also looked a bit shaky sometimes. So I think they've definitely got that, whoa, we're not quite sure how we're going to be playing on it. Likewise, we've also seen VeryGames lose quite consistently on Inferno as well. So I don't think either team is cocksure that they're definitely going to win this last map. And I'm pleased in a way that we've got this third map, because we wanted a third map out of these two teams. They are really tightly matched. It's fantastic to see them both play on LAN, and it's nice to be able to experience a best of 3 between these two teams for a change, because Mad Cats, we saw them just have the one map, and it's always a bit, if you have a couple of rounds that are lucky, or a couple of rounds that don't go your way, it can sometimes destroy you. And I think what we saw in that last game actually was Husey going huge.
Wow, that round.
Which really, for me, is the pivotal point of that map, was where it really started to go wrong for VeryGames, because it gave Anexis confidence. They seemed to be like, oh, do you know what? If Husey can just go around headshotting everyone, then we can all do it, and we'll all just rush into B. And they did it 3 rounds in a row, and it really destroyed VeryGames' plans at that time. And suddenly they had the driving seat, and from then on they never really looked back. There was a couple of rounds here and there where VeryGames looked strong, but overall I think that was really well played and fantastic to bounce back from such a devastating loss in the first map.
That just tells the story about what kind of team Anexis is and the kind of experience this team has during Championship Gaming Series, Dignitas, mousesports, everything. And also, coming back to Inferno, I think the VeryGames were really successful on this map before, back in the Source days.
Yep.
But the reason they were successful was because of their offensive CT play. Now that everyone knows how they play it, I'm not sure if they can go back to defensive play and still win Inferno, because that's pretty much their key to gain that victory on Inferno. So, I don't know, do you have any predictions, Paul, before we go on to that third map?
Well, I hate predictions. I mean, it's like, if I stick my neck out here, well, I've done it already because I've done the previews, and I actually said I thought Anexis could beat VeryGames over 3 maps. So, but I wouldn't be surprised to see VeryGames win it. And to be honest, I called in Faculty earlier, and they got absolutely DE_destroyed earlier by Absolute Legends. So who knows? I'm hopeless at predictions. Someone that isn't hopeless at predictions is Melly, though. Let's hear from her.
Hi guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update what's happening here on the social media platforms. There is a great discussion going on the Twitch chat, so make sure you get yourself in there and have a nice talk to the other viewers. And regarding the voting on our Facebook page /RaidCall EMS1, VeryGames will win this game. So 94% of the community is voting for them. So if you haven't voted yet, go on our Facebook page, check the vote, and vote for your team. I also wanted to remind you quickly about the challenges we've got going on. We have some fan art challenge here in the studio where you can win stuff from the teams like caps and t-shirts and signed mouse pads and signed posters. All you got to do is to sign some nice cheerfuls for your teams. And Faculty, sadly, Faculty is not here anymore, but maybe we will get some new cheerfuls from our guys in the audience. And you at home have also the chance to win some nice stuff, like stuff from the teams, nacho selection keys, and signed posters. You just have to create a mascot for your favorite team, for the team you're rooting for. And if you ever wondered on what game server our players are playing here, they're called gamed game servers, so check them out too and play like the pros. And I'm done for now. If you got questions for the teams, which I should ask for in the post-match interview, just send them to me via Facebook or Twitter. You can use at RaidCall EMS1 or at Melly. Anything you want. I got my eyes all over the whole social media world. So we will be back after a quick break. So thank you for watching and see you later.
Professional grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy to use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
RaidCall. Communication for winners.
And welcome back to the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup Finals, quarterfinals, match number 2. I don't know if we can make it any longer than that, but I think that's about as long as it gets. I'm Red Eye, alongside me is Warclown, getting ready for map number 3. Didn't think I'd be saying that after the first map on Nuke. If you're just joining us, welcome to Cologne, welcome to the ESL studios for our second semi-final, second quarter-final of the day. Semi-finals and grand final will be taking place tomorrow. We will have 2 more matches coming up this afternoon for you as well. Fnatic are in action, and also NIP this afternoon as well. I guess when we've looked at the first 2 maps, they're very contrasting, aren't they? I mean, Nuke can be a bit of a weird map because of the way that the CT bias works, and if you then win the pistol rounds, as VeryGames did, it becomes a bit of a steamroller. So we shouldn't read too much into that, but VeryGames came out really hot, 16-1, winners on the first map. Second map, not quite so much of the same story, and it wasn't a complete flip around either, although for me the T side for Anexis was all about that pivotal round with Husey picking up that 1v3.
That gave him the boost to really keep on playing that well. You saw the spark in every single player after that clutch from Husey as well. And I mean, even though, as you were saying as well, even though VeryGames won 16-1 their map, and then Anexis won, still they won the second map, but not as convincingly. That's not anything we can read. We can't read anything from that, because as you were saying, Nuke is a lot more unbalanced. So if Dust 2 was VeryGames map and they won it, it would still be a lot more rounds on the board for Anexis, even though they would have lost it. So I mean, I think both of these teams are pretty balanced.
See Husey on screen right now. He was the man of the match, or man of the map. From the last map, 21 kills, 14 deaths. He had a KD of 1.5, which was the highest of all the players in the game. So nice return of form from him, because he was miserable in the first map. He had 2 kills, by the way, on Nuke.
Yeah, I was so disappointed after that first map. So I was a little bit afraid for Anexis, because they had Mole at Mad Cats, and Mole was top fragging every single game. He played fantastic for them, and then to see that the actual guy they got into the lineup don't really know how to kill people, that you're going to be a little bit nervous for them. But Husey is stepping it up for them.
I don't think they do a sat nav for finding heads, do they, unfortunately? So yeah, Husey had to come up with some of his own, and he did. He certainly stepped up in the second map, and particularly with that 1v3. I think it'll be replayed quite a few times, because it was just so nice. I mean, that double headshot for the first 2 kills, and then of course clutched the round on the third one with another headshot as well. So just perfect in every way.
That flick shot, that last shot out of those 3, I don't understand how it's possible. It has to be a little bit of luck in it.
Sure, but I think there's also an element, because I saw it left side, and I could see on the corner of my screen that he was going to come out at long A with the X-ray, and you just think, oh no, he's looking at short, he's going to get caned from here, and somehow he didn't, and then just went, oh, I'm being shot from long, oh right, headshot. See ya.
Wow, that is the Husey we know from Source, and that's the one we love.
It is the guy that we've seen so much in Source. He was such a massive player in Source as well, so
he's looking calm as well, as you can see on your screen now, sitting next to Release there. And VeryGames got it all to do now. You can see Kenny S there. So he looks a little bit uneasy.
I think they look a little bit tense. I really do. I don't think they're going to enjoy this at all. So we are ready to go, and we are ready for the knife round, which means another accent.
All right, so which one?
I was going to do it as Warclown, but I don't think my Norwegian's quite up to it.
Please do the Norwenglish.
Norwenglish?
Yeah, my horrible English accent.
I'm going to do a proper English accent.
All right.
Okay. So, chaps, here we go then, with a stunning little stabby knife round on Inferno. It's a very nice place for holidaying. And cups of tea and scones and biscuits, don't you know? And in fact, not the place you'd like to bump into someone with a knife in a dark alley, that's for sure. Here we go then, nothing doing so far. And finally, I think some stabbing is going to take place. Oh, that's rather nasty of you, sir. I think you should take a seat. My dear, that was over so quickly. I can't even believe I wasn't able to get any puns in there whatsoever.
I have to say that's the third knife round that VeryGames have picked up. And I mean, it looks so messy when the knife round's on the way. But I mean, they've won every single one now. Anexis, surely they must feel horrible while losing that, because obviously Inferno is a little bit of a lopsided map as well. CT favored, but in Global Offensive it has been balanced out a little bit more.
I shall whip out my stat sheet.
Here we go. Go on, Uncle Paul.
Inferno is actually statistically the most balanced map in CSGO right now. Only 51.67% of all rounds are won by CT.
Yeah, well then it's CT biased.
But by 1.67?
Yep, still CT biased.
That makes it an 8-7 map. That makes it balanced.
CTs get more rounds, don't they? CT biased.
I'm not winning this argument, am I?
All right, guys, we are heading live here in the third map.
We are indeed. The other stat to remember as we head into the pistol round is that 67.95% of all pistol rounds on Inferno are won by the T side. It's the most heavily biased T-sided pistol of any map that we play competitively. I also had a question which I'll answer in a little bit. Why haven't we got more than 5 maps? But we'll come to that in a moment. Right now it's a 5-man rush down Inferno as they blaze their way through existence and in towards the B bomb site. Bomb in hand here. 1 man waiting on site is in the smoke right now. Is Scream. He gets the first, he gets the second, and BK gets a third in there. Somehow, Smith then gets nailed in the head, and I'm struggling to even find anyone left. Kenny S is now the last man alive. Release and MX have both got low health here, so this is still on for Kenny S. If he can pick up the first one, he can get the first one. It's now a 1 versus 1. MX versus Kenny S. Plenty of time here. 25 seconds or so left on that clock. Still ticking down. And they've rotated around that bomb. I don't think Kenny S knows where he is. He unleashes the first few shots. Can't land then lands the final one with 6 points of health. And we'll have plenty of time to get the defuse. And VeryGames have overturned the statistics. They've won the pistol round on Inferno.
I mean, with the X-ray function, I love this now. I love that for casting. You can see how well MX played that one out. He constantly moved around whilst walking, so he didn't make any sound. And, I mean, it was so hard for Kenny S to actually know where he was at. And in the end, Kenny S had 100 HP, MX was low on HP. He managed to get Kenny S all the way down to about 12 HP, but in the end lost it. I mean, fantastic piece of CS.
Clutched a 1v2 in the opening pistol rounds to give his team the lead. With Scream just waiting for any sign of attack on this banana walkway. Right now, 5 men sitting back in second mid by the looks of things. Actually, no, they're going to go hallways here as well. Now, are we going to be able to get into this bomb site? Yes, we are. Kenny S with the first one and the second one as well. In fact, he's going to clean up in that bomb site very quickly indeed. MBK and Smith with a couple between them. So, straightforward eco bash in round 2. VeryGames leading 2-0.
Once again, I want to point out that VeryGames are really effective against ecos. They do not want to get Anexis all the way into that bomb site to get the bomb planted. That's going to play a huge role. Because Anexis couldn't plant that bomb, Anexis can't... in fact, they got the plant in the pistol round, so they are on an early buy, in fact.
Just to prove us wrong, again. So third round early buy is not working so far because Existence has already picked himself up a frag. Just wanted to check and see where they were going right now. It's actually Kenny S who's made his way towards quad. There is a man in... Actually, there's 2 men in second mid just waiting, so he's not pushing on from here. Let's try and find some Anexis players. Right now, Bomb is with Rattlesnake. And he's now going second mid. Husey waiting for the jump to balcony any moment. Or not, as the case may be. They wait. They think there's someone up there, but there isn't. Now, there is one man. Oh, Rattlesnake just flicked away from him just at the wrong moment. We saw it on the X-ray. He wouldn't have seen it, of course. And now, can Rattlesnake get in here? No, he can't. And, well, they're a little bit indecisive right now. 35 seconds remaining of the round. 2-0 down on an early buy. Got to make this one count. What are we going to get? Smoke goes in towards the A bomb site. Smith drops Husey. It's now a 5 versus 3. They're losing men and they're losing time. 20 seconds now. Got to go for this B bomb site. And if they do, well, I think they're going to have to save now. That's ridiculous. Indecision has cost them that round. It really has. And if they'd gone to the B bomb site, there were 4 that had rotated to that covered site. So if they'd gone there, they'd have found 1 man. I mean, it's easy for us. We can see it through the overlays and what have you.
Yeah. But I mean, we've talked about it already on that second map. That what seems to be Anexis' kryptonite right now is that that passive play. So let's listen in to the teams.
Run up banana.
Right, so what do they do then? What do
They're
they
going to
do?
flash you from mid, so you need to turn around, like literally as you get to the steps.
From middle.
Someone needs to flash for him though.
Yeah, I'm going to flash.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we might have a quick push here because they're going to flash early and they're going to try and flash over the top of A. He was absolutely right. They did get flashed through mid. Grenade comes raining down on the top. Scream picks up the first kill. Weber in there as well. Now Rattlesnake has to be careful not to pick up a frag on his own player here, but Husey has come up huge yet again. Gotten rid of 2 of them as they're on banana. MX now with a 3rd. Suddenly this game spins again. 4 versus 2.
And both the CTs are rotating over towards that A bomb site. They do anticipate the push coming in from Anexis onto that A bomb site, and that might be a good decision.
Yeah, they do. And MBK has already dropped 2. And now even things up. And it's not that even right now because, wow, MBK with a 3rd in a row has single-handedly won VeryGames this round, surely now. 2 versus 1. Just Husey remaining, and MBK drops a 4th.
2 versus 4, Paul. Anexis had it all to do. No problem. That should have been an easy round for them. But NBK, he had something to say about that. Astonishing headshots coming out from him. Really well played by him. But again, Anexis, they're 4 versus 2. They shouldn't be indecisive. They should be pushing into a bomb site as a unit and not challenge 1 by 1.
On an eco now as well, so this might well be a bit of a bash. Let's see what we've got. Existence is on. In any other game this would sound ridiculous, but he's on banana with a P90. And maybe it wouldn't sound quite so ridiculous in COD maybe, but it's the perfect weapon through smoke. And he has done a little bit of damage to Husey, Release, and MX as well. Now let's just see if he can pick up any frags here, because there's plenty of them. They're all waiting here, and they've all gone back white halls. In fact, 3 of them are going to try and go down. And Husey's not going to get a frag. It's going to be MBK who's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. Can he get a 3rd? Yes, he can. Another 4-man from MBK.
NBK being the difference there for VeryGames, really shutting down any push coming out from Anexis. Even though that was an eco bashing, it needs to be said, there's so much bombs being planted in ecos in global offensive. Yeah. But VeryGames, that they understand what that does to the economy, so they just go in and make sure that the Anexis squad doesn't get any money.
Rattlesnake here taking some damage from double grenades at bottom of banana, and has had to back himself away. Does have AWP in hand, and Existence has continued on with that P90. MBK though, it's a shame his name isn't Nathan with a K, otherwise that would have been not bad, Nathan. 5-0 right now to VeryGames. 1:05 remaining in round 6. And Anexis have shown nothing really so far in terms of attacking prowess on Inferno. It's been a perfect lockdown, and VeryGames are very, very good, CT side Inferno, at locking this map down. They've done a perfect job of it so far. Back with MBK again. Any sign of life. And it seems like he's going to pin their head to the board. He's already got himself 11 frags so far in 5 rounds.
The push is coming over towards B now, Paul.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's going to come the other way. Rattlesnake's now going to come up behind them here and back them up with the AWP. Existence picks up the first one with that P90. Won't survive very long, though. And they've exchanged a frag apiece, but MBK, look at this. And now Rattlesnake into the site, gets him at the second attempt. Can he get a second one here towards that car? There is a man coming around him. He'll leg the man underneath, but then Kenny S picks up the frag. And it's 6-0, and nothing that Anexis can put up right now is doing any kind of good.
And Kenny S has been utilizing that M4 and AK now, and once again he's grabbing that M4 a little bit. I have no idea why he decides not to go for the AWP here. Surely they can afford, yes indeed, they can afford to drop an AWP for him.
Existence has gone back to the P90 again.
All right, Kenny S is playing quad, so that's why he doesn't utilize the AWP.
He doesn't want to do AWP from there. That would be awkward.
Yep.
So, quick push this time round from Rattlesnake. Makes no difference, gets dropped by Kenny S, no problem whatsoever. At quad, Smith is just the other side of them, and they've got two men trying to come out of baller here and try and hit this A bomb site. Flash goes in there, and there is one in fact, there's two in mid right now. Kenny does get a little bit tagged, but then tags back another man, and will pick up the frag on MX now. That's 2 for him, out of 2. Next one lines up nicely, and Kenny is trying to get a third, does get a third. Incredible from Kenny yet again. 3 out of 3. Leave him alone, lads. He's going for an ace here. Just couldn't quite control the recoil through the gap in the door. 2 men left, Weber and Release. And I'll tell you what, he might end up running out of bullets at this rate. Kenny S with 3 in the round. Looking for 5. Haven't seen an ace yet at these quarterfinal stages. Just saw 15 during the regular season. One of them came from this man on your screen. Still looking. 10 seconds remaining now. They are going to try and save these last 2, so let's just see where they are right now. Weber is... Hall's Release is going to wait with him as well as they set up a sort of crossfire, and they have managed to keep themselves 2 weapons, and game is paused right now, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with players. VeryGames looking around. They've got some audio issues by the looks of things. Interesting. Wait and see what goes on with them. But that's going to be another round in the bag for VeryGames anyway. And it seems like if MBK isn't going to have a 4-man, then Kenny S has a 3-man. And
well,
they've always got someone to step up.
It has to be said, though, that both of these 4-mans that we've seen coming out from VeryGames is down to the fact that Anexis push 1 by 1. Every time we've seen Anexis during these games, well, I'm not going to count Nuke, but those 2, every time they move in as a unit, they're better at aiming. They pick up the kills, they get in, they get the bomb planted, they get the money rolling, so they can just keep putting up weapons against VeryGames, and that's how they need to play it. Now, they're playing so passively that you've seen them having to save in that first weapons round, I think it was. 3 players against 4 of VeryGames, I think it was. It's not a situation you would want to save in when you're down 3 or 4 rounds. I mean, we need to see Anexis playing a little bit more fast-paced and moving as a unit, and stop going for that with those 1v1s, because that didn't work on this 2, didn't work on New, and it's not working on Inferno.
No, it's definitely not. Let's have a quick listen and see what Anexis are talking about right now.
We're going to take none. Take none. In the next round, we'll just do 3 apps. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, like, Sam, Brandon, and you, Dan, run banana, and I'll stand at the back and flash. Am I throwing my own flashes? No, you just run out with knife, and I'll keep flashing up so they're blind, and you just run up. You need to do them quicker than whatever last time, because last time I had my back turned, the second I turned around, I just had both of them shoot me. I think you need to face towards the logs wall, towards C-spawn, rather than the right-hand side, like face this way. Well, yeah, no, I know how to dodge them. I saw them when they come in. I do know how to dodge them, but it's the fact that...
So we're going to come out of that one. Obviously, still talking about strats, which is great, because it's tough, isn't it? I mean, you've been in this position a number of times at different LAN events. Inevitably, there's a crash or an audio issue or something happens where the game has to be paused. How do you cope with it?
I mean...
When you're winning, how do you cope with it?
Well, I mean, this pause is not really bad for anyone. I mean, VeryGames, even though they're kind of losing momentum a little bit here by the pause that's been put on, they still, when the game resumes, they will see a 7-0 scoreline or a 6-0 scoreline. 7-0, in fact. Let's head back in game here now. The game has been on pause. And what I like to see, what I just saw against, when we saw Anexis and Rattlesnake and everyone talking it over now, they didn't seem stressed at all.
No, they seemed very calm, didn't they?
Yeah. So
just talking it through and deciding how they're going to do it. And here we go then, flash into mid yet again. Has not stopped them this time around, but Existence's grenade has stopped them. Very short indeed. They've lost 2, they've lost 3. Scream's come in with a double now. Flash is going to come around. Is it? No, it's actually a smoke. And Weber then gets dropped by Scream as well. He's now had 3 in the round and might get himself a 4th here as well. MX is just waiting in the smoke, trying not to get shot. And Scream is going to join the list of players who've picked up a triple in this game already. He's got 3 this round, Kenny has got 3 last round, and MBK has picked up 2 4-mans. That's 4 rounds of the 8 that will have played have been picked up by a single player alone. Now, Scream with what else but a Scream headshot for a 4-man.
It's not much to say right now. I mean, VeryGames up 8-0. We're going to see an eco here, I think, coming up from Nexus. No, in fact, they will be buying. Once again, we see Rattlesnake going for the Galil. Release also on the Galil. Weber as well, so it's pretty much a light buy. They need to start picking up rounds here, and they need to start pushing in as a unit and just pretty much try to do it right off the bat. And hopefully that's kind of what we're seeing right now. In fact, they are slowing a little bit down here, Paul.
Yep, they are indeed. Kenny at the top of mid. He's actually going to push a little bit further this time, and he might get himself a couple of kills here because Release and Weber both looking to come towards him. Hughes is in the side as well, but it's Weber that picks up the first kill. Nicely done from him. It's a decoy out there as well. Now, flashing towards the bomb site will be quick here. Smiths and MBK have got themselves a frag apiece. And in fact, MBK is very dangerous inside that pit area. Annex replying back with 1. Chance for Anexis here, though. It's 3 versus 2. MBK has to flash himself in that pit area to give himself any chance whatsoever, but he's down. MX and Rattlesnake come in now. And now, last man alive will be Scream. And it's a 2 versus 1. They've got very low health here. A little bit of health chipped away from him as well. He's down to 69 now. Hasn't got the right set of grenades. He's only got a smoke in hand. Although, actually, no, he does have a flash, and it's in towards the pit area now. But neither of them are there. And they've managed to negotiate their way around back onto the bomb site. And now Scream lops off the head of MX. Can he get the second one? It's in on Rattlesnake. It's a 1 versus 1. Are they all in? Yes, they are.
There we go.
Rattlesnake comes up huge with a double in the round. And Anexis get themselves their first round on the board.
All right, so for everyone who's kind of new to Counter-Strike and how it works out, this is how it is. After 6 rounds, if you lose 6 rounds in a row, you will start getting a lot of cash in. Not a lot, but enough to buy every single round. Now that Anexis picked up 1 round, if they lose this round, they will be forced onto pretty much a double eco here, Paul. So it's such an important round for Anexis and VeryGames right now.
A little bit awkward for Rattlesnake in mid there. He got flashed, and so did one of the CTs who was coming round behind him. Kenny S is just actually above him. Not in the main balcony room, but in the side room. 8-1 right now in this quarter-final. MBK get himself the opening kill. In fact, that's the second kill. VeryGames have lost 2. As he's got himself 1. Kenny S then equalising things back up. It's now a 3 versus 3. They don't have to rush this one. They can sit back. They can wait. Just have a quick look and see where they're going. Actually, 2 men racing towards Banana right now. One of which is Husey. They just stopped short. And I tell you what, if they'd run in there and then they might have got that bomb planted very quickly indeed. Flash and then counter flash back in towards the bomb site. They're actually going to rotate away. This is fantastic from Anexis. Really good piece of play. They've drawn men away from the A bomb site, but not enough, frankly. Now, in towards the bomb site. The call will be made. The rotation will be on very quickly indeed. Now, flashes and grenade rain down on top of Anexis. MBK and Kenny S coming up huge! And Kenny S with a double at the end of the round. They only need 2 players. They got 5 kills between them. It's 9-1 to the VeryGames side.
And as we can see, if you get the scoreboard up on your screen, we have Release, Weber, and MX on below 2K money. So Anexis should double eco, but I'm expecting them to go for that early buy or light buy in the 12th round.
Yeah. MBK 15 for 2, Kenny S 11 for 2. Again, both of them putting up really big numbers, and they haven't needed Scream. It has to be said. I mean, he's had a 4-man in the middle of this, but they haven't really needed him. He was the standout headshot killer of Mad Catz Birmingham a week ago, but here they've just had a man step up every round. It doesn't matter who it is. They've exchanged a frag apiece this time round in round 11. Anexis have got to start thinking about rounds on the board now. It's starting to get away from them. 9-1 down. This is shades of Nuke, but this is far from a Nuke-style map. Still with MBK waiting, and if we wait long enough, they might just be heading his way. Let's have a look. Well, does look like an A hit right now, and indeed, Rattlesnake is going to pop himself round onto CT side arch. MBK waiting for him, and brilliantly picked off by MX. Now in towards the bomb site. They've got one more man inside the pit area, which I think is Kenny. It is Kenny indeed. Now, can they get into this bomb site? Man will come over the top. Kenny S picks him off though. Existence comes back in with his deadly P90 yet again. Single shot from the AK from Kenny S that time. And Existence just rolls through the Anexis team with a P90 like a ninja.
And I'm still not getting used to seeing this in the top tier teams in the playoffs at LAN at the ESL studios. People are opting to go for that P90 and just rolls over some of the best players to ever touch the game.
But I think that's a really important point you make. I think the difference for me, the biggest difference for me, apart from the obvious stuff, is that the guns in CSGO are appropriate for different situations. So for instance, you can have a shotgun partial buy and be deadly close range. I mean, some of the shotguns are absolutely, they destroy people
and
up
I like
close.
it, to be honest.
I do too, and it's nice to be able to see a range of weapons used instead of just the rifles of the AK and the M4. They're still the most deadly weapons though, no doubt about it. So flash into White Horse from Kenny S. Feels like there might be someone waiting for him, but there's not. 3 men are down on Banana. Release is going to join them. Husey is the bait right now in an NBK Kenny S sandwich. Not something I would like to be in right now, that's for sure. Let's just see if they decide to go this way or not. Set flash into mid, over the top to help NBK out. He's now going to flash into mid as well. Will come under a bit of fire here. Smith picks up the opening kill though, and they've had to back away a little bit. And Smith's covering the other side. MPK now on site, waiting for any sign of life from Anexis. 28 seconds remaining still. Weber now trying to make his way in towards that B bomb site. He's now the bait, and MX and Release and Husey are now going to go for this bomb site any moment now. Release then, ready to go at quad. Here he goes. Kenny S picks up the first one, Smith's the second one. Release can't get one in the corner, and Kenny S picks up a double. Weber now the last man standing, and he is going to get the frag on Existence, is he? No, he's not. He might get the first one on screen, though. And he'll do well to get away from there with just a weapon, because he's going to come under fire from the bottom of Banana by MBK. And that will be game, set, and match as far as that round's concerned. VeryGames leading now 11-1.
And that means Weber is only on $350 now, being picked off after the time went out. And that just makes everything...
By the way? Do you want that to change?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of players have said they want that to change.
Honestly, do not see any reason for it to be in the game, but I mean, it's always been that way, so people should know about it and not put themselves in those kind of situations.
But it always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
It always happens.
So,
Eco now from the Brits. 11-1 down. This is not looking good for them at all. Those Anexis fans out there were hoping for a better show on their third map. Will be disappointed. VeryGames, on the other hand, have played a textbook defense of Inferno CT and lead comfortably now 11-1. Well, they're just trying to make his way up the top of Banana. Does have some teammates for company with him. Annex leading the way. Release is there. Rattlesnake's there. And Weber in the corner now. 4 men in towards the bomb site. Flash goes up. Comes over the top into Release though, that picks up the frag on Existence. Scream is in the back corner here and might get himself a few kills. Has got himself 2. Can he get a third? Yes, he can. Not a fourth though. It was actually Husey that came in, and it's now a 2 versus 2. This is not done yet. Bomb planted as well. They've got themselves weapons. Another double from Husey. Is this a turning point?
Oh, there we go.
Heads ripped off their shoulders by Rattlesnake and Husey. And Anexis get themselves a second round on an eco. Don't give them any guns anymore. Just let them have pistols. They'll win every round.
All right, I'll lay a knowledge bomb on you here right now.
Drop one.
The reason why they have been winning rounds against VeryGames is because they move as a unit. Yeah. Even though they had an eco, they moved in as a unit, and they get the revenge kills. And then in the end, if you get the revenge kills, you're going to get the bomb planted, and you're at an advantage. That's what we need to see Anexis doing. But once again, they opt to go for a bit of static, defensive, too patient play here. And here we go. As you can see, MX is moving up, but he's gonna face off against 2 VeryGames players soon enough.
Indeed he is. Saw the split between them is sort of a 2-1-2. It's more like a football formation than a Counter-Strike formation. MX with Weber right now on Banana. Scream waiting for them at the top of coils on that bomb site. And it might well be that they fancy their chances on this bomb site again. Weber now edging his way forward. Scream waiting for it just behind the smoke. When it clears, he will have a perfect sight. They are starting to move this way as well. MX now is going to be the first man to come contact. Scream's seen it. He's going to make the call. Kennis has meanwhile picked off the frag of release on the other side of the map. And Scream now a little bit isolated on his own, so he's had to back away from those coils. Weber, though, picks up the first frag inside that bomb site. They're all streaming in towards the bomb site now. Head ripped off by Scream, gets the first one. Can he get the second one? No, he can't. Husey replying back, and they're now out of the 3 versus 3. Exactly what Simon was talking about. They've managed to move in as a team now in towards this bomb site. Again, it's Husey and MX now. Last 2 standing. MX picks up 1 frag. It's now a 2 versus 2. Kenny S now making his way up the banana walkway. 2 men to find. Bomb planted. Is this another round going to Anexis? Maybe they found a little chink in the VeryGames armour here as Kenny S moves in towards the bomb site. They've got 1 man just to the left-hand side. I don't think he's seen him. He's going to come under fire here. Indeed he is. Somehow, though, Kenny S picks up the frag on Husey when really a brand new ready to rock and roll Husey would have definitely taken that frag. And VeryGames now lead 12-2.
I still think my point stands. I mean, every time they move in as a unit, they will get that bomb planted, and they will find themselves in a good position in 2 versus 2 with the opportunity to play off the bomb. But what failed there was pretty much Husey not being able to kill a guy who was with his back towards him.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
So yeah.
Mid is smoked out, and they are going to push a little bit here. Rattlesnake through the smoke, though, picks up the frag on Smith. Now, how big could that prove to be? Nicely placed. Couldn't land the easier shot at the end of Banana. Not the first time, or the second time, or the third time either. Might not get too many more bites at the cherry if he carries on like that. Husey, meanwhile, has made up for the last round. And do you know what? Anexis have not lost a man this time round and have dropped 3, make that 4. Existence is now the last man alive, and they know that he's at the B site, so they're going to run and scamper over towards A, get the bomb planted, and this should be 12-3 at the half. And indeed it is 12-3 at the half, with Release getting the final kill. On the balance of things, that seems about right. But it took Anexis far too long to find the chink in the armour.
Yeah, I just can't help but feel that if Anexis just kept on moving as a unit and just playing off each other, that's pretty much the recipe of success of NIP. I've been talking with the NIP players on most of the events I've traveled to, and basically their kind of play style is we never go into a fight alone. We always go 2 versus 1 or 2, so they can always play off each other.
So if we're listening to Anexis.
End of the balcony in the right side and waiting, like baiting it, like looking away so he doesn't get flashed, and then when Dan dies he gets 2 kills free, and then we have 1 quad, 1 arch.
I just think literally 1 small pit, let's just be open to a
double grenade
small site split. I just think be open to a small site split sort of style. To have like 1 end of house, 1 in arch, site, 1 small pit.
1 side, 1 small pit, 1 grave, 1 on the maps.
So interesting, they're already talking about round 1 strats for the second half. What about VeryGames?
They're not talking much, are they?
Believe it or not, I actually have their comms open right now. And that's it. That's the sum total of their discussions.
I think they were talking about baguettes there. I'm not sure though. My French is a little bit off, Paul.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the way Anexis utilized the half time, really talking it over, thinking about stuff to do. They're pretty much building strats on the fly here, it seems, and this is not the first time we've seen it either from them. All right, so second half of the third and final map of this match is going live now. So let's head straight back into the game and bring you the action here on Inferno. Paul, please take it away.
I'm still chuckling at the baguette comment. You're so naughty, you really are. Such a naughty man, Simon. Yes, we are back underway then for the second half of the third map in the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup quarterfinal. We've already seen absolute legends go through. Who's it going to be joining them? They aren't going to play them either. The winners of this will play the winners of Ninjas in Pyjamas and Kick eSports, which will be coming up as our final game of the day. Next up, will be the French side Imaginary Gaming, who were imaginary, then they were superstars, now they're imaginary again, taking on Fnatic as things open up here. VeryGames starting things off nicely with MBK. MX has picked up the second one for a revenge, and actually they've dropped a couple more here, so they've got a 4 versus 2. MBK has managed to get himself into pit here, and I don't know if they've seen him.
Does not look like it.
It doesn't. Well, MX had seen him, and he has picked up an easy kill, and he's now got himself 3 in the round on pistols. Existence is now the last man alive, and he's managed to creep his way all the way round to the far side. Picks up the frag on Weber. Now, he's going to go for this. He has to go for this. There's no point in not going for it, but he's not going to get much further. It's a 4th from MX, and the Welshman has stepped up.
I mean, that's going to give Anexis a little bit of breathing room. If they lost that pistol round, they would probably look at it 15-3 scoreline before they could buy weapons. And you don't really want that in the last map of a single elimination bracket, do you?
No, you definitely don't. Just a quick look at the scoreboard right now. MX, the only man in double figures for his team after that 4-man. He's 12 for 14. As MX gets really heavily tagged. Double headshot with armor. He's now down to 20. So has had to back away there. Weber sort of gives him a knowing look as if to say, yeah, mate, you're not very healthy now. And has had to back himself away. Kenny S now waiting. Release picks up the opening frag. The weird thing with Kenny S right now is he looks like he's sort of skewed, but he's not. It's Hugh. And will he get another one? No, he won't. It's actually Rattlesnake that gets the last 2. So commentator's curse. Just as we switched over to Hughesy, he got deaded.
He got deaded, as they say in...
Nowhere.
No, I'm not going to... All right, never mind. It's 12-5, and X is picking up that eco with ease, I would say. Let's see, we're not going to have an early buy here from VeryGames because obviously they're quite in front now, aren't they, Paul? There's no point risking that at all.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you have plenty of rounds in the bag, then you don't need to make, daft calls. And I was almost going to say that it was a daft call by Anexis, but of course it wasn't in the last map because they bought round 3 and they ended up winning it, which changed the whole early part of that game. So you can take risks when you're behind. But when you're ahead, you almost don't really want to, even though, in theory, you could take more risks because you're ahead by a long way.
Yeah.
But 7 rounds can quickly turn into a 3-round advantage, and then all of a sudden you lose 1 or 2 then, and then it's game on. So you're right, don't take any risks right now. No early buy from them. 12-5 up, minute left in round 18. MBK sent to the grave by Rattlesnake's Famous. As we wait for a push on Banana with MX. Might just fill his boots here if they do decide to rush through. But so far, nothing doing. Waiting behind the barrels. He's got a teammate just to the left of him inside that bomb site ready to rock and roll as well, which is Weber. So Weber and MX ready and waiting. Still no push from VeryGames. 20 seconds remaining. Rattlesnake's decided he's going to push behind him. That'll force them into the bomb site. Weber gets the first. He'll get a second here and a third. Nice little headshots from Weber. Only on an eco, so I'm not going to get too excited. Sorry about that.
Well, I mean, this is rinse and repeat. Sorry, guys, but I mean, every time you can shut down the T's in an eco and without them getting the bomb planted, you got to be happy about that. I mean, yeah. That's pretty much me just on repeat here, Paul.
Well, just if you record that for us, we'll just press that and then you can go home.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more cheap for ESL than to have me on. Only royalty fees.
What you don't know is we're actually recording you right now, and we're just going to chop bits out.
Just make an auto bot kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Like a Simon bot.
A Simon bot?
Let's not go there. I see what you did there. So anyway, on to more serious things. 12-6 overall. VeryGames still leading, but gap just reducing a little bit here. And if you look overall, they were 11-1 up at one point. So only 1 of the last 7 rounds has gone the way of the Belgian-French team. Release now with 1. Rattlesnake gets himself 2 with some very nicely controlled sprayed headshots. Can't get the third though. Smith gets that one. And now 2 versus 3. Oh, Flash is very awkward indeed. Super awkward, Captain awkward, and Smith somehow survives it. In towards the bomb side he goes, tries to negotiate the left-hand side. Hughesy's waiting to the left, and he hasn't spotted him just yet. Smith then tries to get the shot off on the left to MX, then goes for the reload. Amateur mistake. Hughesy then picks up an easy frag, and now Existence is the last man alive. 2 versus 1 for the Belgian to try and win the round. Not going to happen. Hughesy locking it down, and Anexis get their 7th round in the last 8. It's now 12-7. Momentum has swung.
It has swung indeed. What a fancy word coming out from Paul. It's 4-0 here in the second half, and that pretty much paints a picture that Anexis, they know how to play CT as well. It's not only VeryGames, is it? So, I mean, it's a little bit of a biased map towards the CTs, even though the statistics doesn't really show that it's that biased. But, I mean, for these two teams, they feel a lot more comfortable playing CT, it seems.
Seems that way. Kinies just taking a little bit of grenade damage in mid, and taking a little bit more damage from Hughesy. Hughesy actually downed at the end of it. Kinies does pick up one. Does he? No, not quite. Rattlesnake getting the first one. Can he get the second one here? Oh, there's a bit of dancing around. Existence picks up the frag. It's not going to make any difference though. Scream now, last man alive. He's got himself a gun, and I reckon he's going to go and find himself somewhere safe to hide.
No.
With a minute remaining, or is he going to go all the way over to the B bomb side and try and plant this one 3v1? He is going to try and do that. And they're already rotating across here. So, they wait. And he has managed to get himself to the grate. Plant early, and you might get this round, you know. 1v3 now. And Release hasn't got much health. MX is low, and Scream picks up the first one, gets the second one as well. Now a 1 versus 3 has turned into a 1 versus 1, and it's the worst possible 1 versus 1 because look at Release's health points right now. It's not healthy, and this is on for Scream. A 1 versus 3. We've already seen Hughesy pick it up. And now into the bomb site, trying to get in desperately, firing off left, right and centre. That should at least give Scream the idea, and he's going to try and go for the full defuse. It's not going to happen! And Scream is the master clutch master. It's 13-7.
Mr. Headshot Machine pulls it out of the bag once again, 1v3. He had that weapon, he had the bomb, and he had the health to do it. And I mean, that aim, he would probably gone for it if it was 1v4 as well. He's got so much confidence, and as long as you got that much confidence in CS, you can pull out miracles pretty much every round. I mean, fantastic to see those clutch plays coming out in such a big game like this.
I love it. Hughesy earlier, if you missed it, go and grab the second game, the second map on Dust 2. Hughesy showing signs of old with a 1 versus 3 on Dust 2 clutch. And now we've had Scream on Inferno doing exactly the same job. 13-7. Very, very big round. And it's not the first time I've seen Anexis lose a big round like that towards the end of a game. The Get Right one on Nuke during RaidCall EMS Cup 2, where he had a 1 versus 3, was a very similar position, actually, where Anexis, though, were ahead that time round. Here they're behind, but they had the momentum. That was the difference. They were just starting to come back into the game. Now, Rattlesnake, oh, those grenades are going to land right at the feet of Existence. Could have kicked them away. He's now down to just 5 points of health. MBK's only got 17. And even though it's a 5 versus 4 right now, it's not looking good for the French. MX makes it look even worse. 5 versus 3 now. Scream searches for the moment in the sky, the pixel that he needs to land the set smoke. Then throws off a flash. It's a dummy, though. They're going to try and hit the other site here. AWP in hand, are they? No, they're actually going to back away from this and save. Yeah, they are going to save. 17 seconds remaining. They don't fancy this one. They've got less than 120 points of health between them, so I'm not surprised. And instead, they're going to set up a nice little tent inside T-Spawn, pop out a flask, have a cup of tea, see if they can find themselves in the exit kills, of which Anexis are going to have no chance of getting there, I don't think. No, I was just waiting just to see, because I saw in the corner of my eye there was one little man coming through on the X-ray. I was like, don't go in there. It's a trap. 13-8, VeryGames leading.
I have to say, Anexis playing really well now, and nice decision there by VeryGames, even though Scream was up with 86 HP, and he is the clutch master.
Oh.
That was, we got the nice little boost there.
We would do if Hughesy knew it. Yeah, there we go. No, oh, dear me.
Yeah.
Okay, good example of fail boost.
That is how you do not do this at home, guys.
No Anexis players were hurt in the making of this boost. And no one was successful either. Whoops.
All right, back into the game here. It's pretty much a 2-1-2 split here for VeryGames, just trying to find openings. Smith, however, being put down to 6 HP, Paul, but MX down to 12.
Now, Kenny S just sitting at the bottom of Banana with Bomb. He's going to leave it for Screen, as we now see him bouncing up and down with the AWP. I wanted to see him do that Dust 2 trick he does as well. Have you seen him do that? They boost one man up onto the side of the double doors and jump up and down. It's a really cool little shot if they can do it. Now, in towards the bomb zone they go. Weber's got one. Existence replies back with 4 versus 4. Everyone with a little bit of damage done to them. Kenny now with 14 health inside the bomb zone. Bomb planted here as well. And chance now for VeryGames to stretch their legs towards victory. Scream picks up the frag on Rattlesnake. Now, they're going to have to back away here, aren't they? Let's have a look. Yeah, they are. MX is going to save. Release also going to save. And Husey as well. It's flipped round. It's going to be 14-8 now.
Such a close game.
VeryGames, for me, have it all to lose now. It will mean, of course, that Anexis will need to win 8 rounds straight if they want to win.
Without overtime.
Without overtime, indeed. Which we will have, because it's a 3rd match. So, oh, we're going to lose a player at the end? Not quite. So, 14-8. It's now or never for Anexis. They have to save the next 6 rounds at least. Otherwise, VeryGames will move to match point. A little bit of weapon exchanging going on in spawn. Funds are tight, but that save on the last round will at least give them something to play with. Now, where is it coming from this time round? Looks like it might just be an inner rush on A. And indeed, look at that, they've already gone down there. AWP in hand here with Kenny S. Man at the bottom of that runway is Release, who's already taken some damage here as well. And it's actually Release who picks up the first frag. Husey gets the second. It's now a 5 versus 3. Release gets himself a second frag. And before you know it, Anexis are now in control again. 5 versus 2. And Kenny in Existence, the 2 men remaining. Kenny just, well, he's in a bit of an advanced position, really, considering, oh, well, hello, incendiary grenade. I've seen one of those in this game so far. Too expensive still for my taste, but that's topic for another time, perhaps. 45 seconds remaining. VeryGames now looking like they have to save with 2 men. Ooh, that was very awkward from Kenny S. Dropped down off the walkway there with just 15 points of health. Doesn't want to hang around. What are you doing? I've no idea why he's even there. Rattlesnake's got the frag on and gets the second one as well. That's just, I've no idea. I can't even comprehend in my brain what they were doing. Weird.
Well, I'm supposed to be the colorcaster here, the expert, if you want.
Okay, so break that down.
That's, it's basically, right, I'm gonna, another knowledge bomb here for you.
Right.
That was stupid. All right, that's pretty much what I got to say about that. Yeah.
Knowledge bomb dropped. 14-9. VeryGames still searching for another round, but this time round it's an Eco and it's an MX Weber bashing for the Brits, and they'll reduce this one to 14-10. Existence is now going to try and bait them out, but he's going to get shot from behind here, and Release picks up that final frag. So 14-11. And for every round that Anexis pick up, sorry, 14-10, for every round that Anexis pick up, it just adds a little bit more doubt in the minds of VeryGames. So they won't want to lose any more.
Put it this way, it's 14-10 for VeryGames right now, but in the second half, it's 7-2, in fact, for Anexis. So Anexis is playing a lot better.
They've won 9 of the last 11 rounds, if you count the last half as well. So 9 out of the last 11 rounds for Anexis. So it is a momentum game. Oh, lovely double nade into that sack area, but they weren't. Oh, nice header from Existence as well. Alan Shearer would have been proud of that one. Luckily, nutted it away from him. He's down to 58 points of health, so Screen with the first kill of the round. VeryGames now have a man advantage. Can they push this one home? 5 versus 4. Chance for them to move to match point, and it would be match point this time round. Did some fantastic work on Nuke. Not so good on Dust 2. But here on Inferno have just had the edge throughout the game. 11-1 up at one point, but now 14-10. Husey and Release picking up a frag apiece, makes it a 3 versus 3 now. Existence gets nailed. Long range by MX with a headshot. Now 2 versus 2. They exchange yet another frag. Scream on site. Bomb thrown down. He's now collected. It can be planted here, and then it'll be all down to Weber and MX to rescue the Brits here from almost certain defeat. Weber edging towards the pit. Sees the man, rips the heads off his shoulders, now got one, Screams inside the bomb site here. If they can gang up him on it with a crossfire, they can win this round. They're in on him, they're trying to take it down. Scream though, oh my words! Where on earth has that come from? Scream should never have won that. Perfect crossfire setup from Anexis. Scream says, no you don't, not in my house, and locks it down for a 15-10 lead.
Wow, Scream has been a little bit quiet throughout the games here, but he's clutched 2 so important rounds for VeryGames, and that's going to be, I'm not sure, that might be the nail in the coffin, because Anexis now got to be kicking themselves.
Rattlesnake very close to landing the AWP shot through them in just as he got flashed. I thought he was going to go down under fire, but he hasn't. Kenny S is now down to 16 points out. Again, Rattlesnake not able to land the shot. Takes out by Screen this time with a headshot. Just continues where he left off from the last round. And they've now got a man advantage. 4 men to find for a 16-10 win and a place in the semi-finals of the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup. MX says no though and stops Smith in his tracks. It's now a 4 versus 4. 3 men on Banana trying to make a push here. They're going to get stopped at car and then make a bit of a hasty retreat actually away from that area. And instead, things have started to calm down. 52 seconds remaining now of round 26. They've rotated once, they've now rotated again, and they've come back to where they were before. Still the men wait. 4 versus 4. 40 seconds remaining. It's got a nice symmetry about it. It's about to be broken any moment now. Smoke deployed. Here we go then. VeryGames going for the win here. In towards the bomb site they go. 3 men leading the charge. 1 man as a decoy. Now, have they managed to get into that bomb site they have on the right-hand side here? Man at the back of the site is MX. He's down by Existence. They found 1. 3 more men to find. Bomb still not planted. 15 seconds remaining. Kenny S waiting inside that bomb site. Weber's got himself 1, and MBK flips round, picks up the frag. Husey then comes back round. It's now a 2 versus 2. 5 seconds remaining here. Bomb about to be planted. Husey gets another one. Bomb is now planted. MBK now to try and win the game. No, not going to happen. And Release and Husey combine to stop the rot. It's 15-11.
Oh, wow. My heart is pounding after that round. That was such a close round. Oh, wow. Fantastic play in the end there by Anexis. NBK also managing to pick up get that bomb planted to give VeryGames a lot more money to play with. And if we take a quick look at the statistics here as well, as you can see, VeryGames can lose this round and buy another round. So they can keep pushing Anexis to their limits, and they only need 1 more round to secure a place in the semi-finals here, Paul.
Yep, they are going to eco this one, which in theory, if they can convert, will be 15-12 and just make it a little bit more nervous, because they'll know that if they then lose the next one at 15-13, they have to eco again, which would then leave us at a tied game. So it's slightly out right now. The money, I know what you said about the money, but it's slightly out of kilt, because if they lose this one, that's expected. If they lose the next one when they buy, then they'll then need to eco the final round. So they're going to be in a bit of trouble. Flash goes into the white hallways there and actually flashes both players in the end. Release has to back away. 4 men waiting in mid here. Oh, nice flash. The MBK somehow 1 shot Release in the head, though, and gets himself a gun and a flash. Now, 2 men in towards the bomb site. They're just going to line up nicely here for Rattlesnake. Surely, he's got himself 1. Husey with another one. Kenny S the only other man to reply back. And now Rattlesnake under a bit of pressure here, and Scream comes in, takes his head off. Kenny S now the last man alive, and surely can be taken down by Weber and MX here. But the bomb is going to get planted. That might just make an awful lot of difference. Oh, incendiary grenade in.
Wow.
Oh, baby, relight my fire. MX picks up the final kill of the round. And Anexis live to breathe another day. It's 15-12.
Wow. That's a little bit of a burn right there coming out from Anexis. Clutching it out there with incendiary grenade. I don't think I've seen... I don't know. I haven't seen that. That was cool.
I have seen a couple of incendiary grenade kills before, but nicely done on the bomb site.
Yeah, that was a well put and well.
And when I
worth
say
it.
nicely done, I mean slightly over barbecued.
Yeah, okay, yeah, a little bit medium plus and
yeah,
all right.
medium rare.
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Kenny S. Goes well with a few mushrooms. We're into round 28. Incredibly, Anexis remain alive in the RaidCall EMS 1 quarterfinals. Amazingly, after being 11-1 down, they've pulled it back to 15-12. Now, VeryGames on a gun round. Little flick and a hop and a jump and a skip from Kenny S. Into the back balcony he goes. 2 men alongside him. Looks like Whitehall's might be the way towards the bomb site here. Looks like A might be the hit. 60 seconds remaining. Here they go. Incendiary grenade goes in. Awkward little flash from Kenny S. Doesn't make any difference to MBK though, who picks up the frag on release. They've managed to get out of the Whitehalls. Flash goes in towards the bomb site. Little dink on the top of the head there. Rattlesnake picks up the frag on Smiths. We're at 4 versus 4 now. Another incendiary grenade will light up that pit area. There's a couple down there actually, and they are going to survive it, I think. It's going to be fine. Rattlesnake though gets himself his second of the round. On for the ace now. He's got 3 in the round now. What on earth is Rattlesnake doing? 3 in a row. Can he get a 4th here? It's a 3 versus 2 as well. This is not done just yet. Anexis still need 2 more frags. VeryGames need 3 to win it. Rattlesnake with another one. He's got himself 4. Ace is on here. Rattlesnake, 1 versus 1. 1 versus 2. Needs this one for the 5-man. And Kenny has 42 health. Is it going to get stolen away by Weber? No, it's not. It is going to get stolen away. No! It is an ace round from the old master Sam Gorn. Rattlesnake brings Anexis back to 15-13. It's game on.
Anexis must feel so good right now. It's insane. I mean, it's so good to see Sam getting back into it. And what I want to point out as well, he got 4 kills. Sorry about that. And he didn't go for that frag. He's not frag hunting at all. That just shows how seasoned he is at CS. I love to see that kind of play. And being patient and picking up the ace, well done.
Who thought this game was over? I'll count myself on that list. I thought it was done and dusted when VeryGames got to 15 and had 5 chances to convert. 3 have gone. They've got 2 left. They're now on looks like a partial bye here, which means if they lose this, it's almost certainly going to overtime. No doubt about it. Got to win this one. Now on ever. And have Anexis finally broken that little bad run that they've had where they always seem to lose by the odd round. Rattlesnake with that 5-man. Incredible in the last round. 50 seconds remaining now in round 29. Really starts things off for Anexis nicely. Gets rid of Kenny S, who's been a real pain in the bum. Here comes Rattlesnake. Point blank range. Gets the first one. Couldn't get the second. Smith knocks him down. It's now a 3 versus 3. Weber waiting. Hughesy now goes huge. He picks up another one. 3 versus 2. MBK yet again. And Existence are the last 2 alive here, waiting to try and blast into the A bomb site. It hasn't worked for them on any round I've seen them trying to do this. Flash comes out through quad. MBK still sitting in there with bomb in hand. 18 seconds left. They've got to make a move any moment now. Existence just walks into the bomb site, picks up the head of MX. Can't get a second one though. MBK now in a 1 versus 1 for the match. 7 seconds remaining. Has only got 81 points of health. Weber is also there as well. He doesn't know where he is right now, and we know exactly where Weber is. Look, he's trying to get in towards the bomb site right now. MBK's going to get his head taken off. And that's another clutch round from Anexis. It's Weber who saves the day, and VeryGames were 1 frag away from the semi-finals. Instead, it's 15-14, and I think VeryGames have all sorts of problems right now with money. Let's have a quick look.
In fact, they got that bomb planted,
they are. They got the bomb planted, you're right, and they won the previous 2 rounds ago, which is why they've got enough to buy. So, here we go. Who thought we would get here, Simon? Round 30.
Do I dare make a bet? No, I'm not going to make that bet.
Don't make any nudity bets.
All right.
Weber trying to hold things off on Banana. Existence already charging along towards the top of Banana. He's got himself in there as well. Smiths and Screamer there, but Weber trying to take him out. They've exchanged a frag apiece now. 4 versus 4. Is this going to overtime, or is it VeryGames into the semi-final? We're about to find out one way or the other right now. It's still a 4 versus 4. Weber inside the bomb site. They've managed to get themselves in on that site and get the bomb planted any moment now. There it is. And Kenny S now. Webber replies back through the smoke. 3 versus 3. Still anyone's round. Still no one can claim it. And still Webber waiting to try and get in on the bomb. That bomb is ticking though now, and they've deployed the smokes. Got to get inside this site now. Existence waits for Rattlesnake to pop his head round the corner and take his head off, and now will easily be able to do so. And Kenny S cleans up the final kill. And after an absolutely monumental game, it's VeryGames that take it by the single round. You couldn't have asked for a better quarterfinal.
Well, you could have gotten overtime, Paul, and then I'm just doing the same as you did to me. What a fantastic game to watch. My heart is racing. Wow, I'm gonna need some air soon. Wow. Anexis though, they just seem to keep drawing the short end. I mean,
I know
so
they do.
sad.
I mean, they lost 16-14 to NIP twice as Mouse Sports. They also lost to them recently, 16-14 again on Nuke in the RC EMS Cup 2. They just always seem to fall around short, and it's such a shame to see for them. But I have to say, knowing that they've only just got Husey back, knowing they haven't had long to put the strats together, and I know they were a little bit worried about timing in their strats because of that, they've put up a fantastic performance against one of the very best teams in the world. I mean, VeryGames are, for me, one of the top 3 or 4 clans in the world right now in Counter-Strike Go. And to have run them that close with 1 round between them is nothing short of a brilliant performance. And some real standouts as well. Husey in the second map, fantastic top score with a KD of 1.5 and a 1v3 that really won them Dust 2 in the end. And then Rattlesnake, shades of the old again, with a 5-man ace
in the
28th round in the quarterfinals.
And who would have thought after that first map as well, Paul? 16-1 for VeryGames.
Yep, it was an absolute slaughter in the first map. Second map, much more the way of Anexis. Third map, unbelievably close. 16-14 in the end. Fantastic result for VeryGames. They do go through to the semi-finals to play either NIP or Kick eSports, depending on the outcome of that game this afternoon. I know everyone's going, what's he on about? NIP have won that, no problem at all. But let's not just count the games, because we've already seen 2 massive games today. If you weren't with us earlier on, Absolute Legends made it at least 1 Swedish team in the semi-final. They're going through to play either the winners of Imaginary or Fnatic, which is our next game here from the ESL studios in Cologne, so don't go too far away. And in the other semi-final, it will be VeryGames. France will have at least 1. We could, in theory, have France versus Sweden in our 2 semi-finals.
That's pretty cool. I gotta say, Sweden and France being particularly
powerhouses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Particular powerhouses.
Tripping over my own word there. But yeah, I have to say Sweden, and also, well, I have to say Sweden actually were quite quiet during the last few years of CSS.
I wouldn't have said that. I mean, if you look at the success of SK and you look at the success of Fnatic before that, I mean, that was 2009, 10, 11. Other than the polls, they were pretty much the dominant force. So
I mean Source.
Oh, you mean in Source? Okay, I didn't realise you were talking about that game.
You're going to gain a lot of fans right now.
I'm just stoking the fire, that's all. I'm just helping out a little bit of flame on the fire.
Going nuts.
Yeah, so no, I think Sweden have always been one of those big powerhouse esports countries. I once heard from a chap called Prozac, I don't know whether you know him, but he used to play Quake. Very charismatic player, Swedish. And I once said to him, why are the Swedes so good at all the esports? You know, great at Quake, they're great at Counter-Strike, what is it? And he said, we have nothing else to do.
That's a good reply. That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
I'm not saying that Swedes have nothing else, because trust me, there's lots to do in Sweden, but he just said they have nothing else to do. That's why they're so good at games. Fair enough.
All right.
So, there we go. We are done and dusted for our second quarterfinal at the RaidCall EMS1 Spring Finals, the first one of the year, for $35,000. 2 teams have already gone home with $2,000 in their pocket, but there are still 2 teams through to our semi-finals. VeryGames have defeated Anexis. Here's Sean.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much, Warclown. I'm joined with Sam. Sam, how are you feeling?
I'm pretty disappointed. I mean, the first map was kind of terrible for us, and the second one we picked up and knew like the third game would probably come pretty close, because we knew VeryGames had watched us on Inferno at the last tournament we went to, and just after that, the way we lost and stuff, it's just disappointing more than anything, because they deserved it probably as much as we did after the comeback, so it was just like a flip of a coin and they ended up winning in the end, so that's just how it went for us.
But a close match, so do you feel that's even more bittersweet, or?
I think it just hurts more, I think, because it was closer. If they'd have just destroyed us, you just sort of walk away and know that they'd just been better than us. But when it's that close, you sort of know that either of us deserve the opportunity to play against NIP when it's that close on 16-14 on the last map. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing, really. After all our bad sort of run of results recently, to then get that close and then have it like taken away from you on the last round like that is quite disappointing.
Disappointment. So what's next?
I'm not too sure after this. I think we've got like 2 months now where we probably won't attend any tournaments and prepare ourselves probably for after the summer, because right now we haven't been able to play as much as we'd want to for this event. We kind of just played as much as we could after Birmingham, which was a few days, and I think after the summer we're going to be much more prepared and we'll be able to sort our team play out and make sure we're not making so many of the mistakes we are now, and we kind of adapt to other teams better, because in them games it was very difficult to play against the different styles when they were pushing Banana, when they were playing Nuke with their defensive setup. We kind of play other teams online that do what they do, but just nowhere near as well, so it makes it quite difficult to play against.
Well, Colin Knowles, but stick around, we're going to answer some questions in a sec with Melly, but first have to go over to the man of the hour. How you doing, MEK?
Pretty good. I'm happy with what happened. I mean, I'm obviously happy to win the game.
Close match, though. Same feelings? I mean, it went down to the wire.
Well, yeah, obviously it could have gone either way, as Sam said. I mean, the match was that close. Like, it could have been a one-on-one, which changed the whole games. Like one smoke, one flash. I mean, it was just that close on the last map. I mean, Nuke was like a bash. Dusty was pretty much the same. And on the third map, it just ended up at 16-14. Like, as I said, just a flash or a smoke or whatever it can be, just can change the whole round and change the, the feeling of the game. And it was just like on the wire, as I said.
So really you feel that one element could have taken it either way? It wasn't, you were never feeling like, hey, this is going for us?
After the first side, I mean, after winning 12-3 on the first side, you obviously have kind of a confidence. You're like, okay, you win the pistol round and you're like pretty much like almost perfectly on the game. So we didn't have another burst of confidence. We just tried to, stay focused, but we obviously lost it a bit, and, they came back like playing extremely well, stopping us whatever we tried to do, and I mean, 16-14, the score stuck with itself.
Very good. And now, moving on, looking at tomorrow, how are you feeling?
We're going to face either NIP or Kick. We already played Kick on LAN last week, and we won against them. So if we face Kick, we're going to play our game and just, try to win as we did like last week. And if we face NIP, obviously, which are, I'm still going to say the #1 team in the world, because, they've been beaten by Virtus Pro. But I mean, that's on one LAN, and they're going to bounce back, and they're going to be excellent like tomorrow and even today. So it's going to be a tough match anyway.
Tough match all around. Well, as always, you at home can get involved and get stuck in and pass off your questions via the lovely Melly, who's joined us here now. So, Melly, what questions do you have, and who do you have them for, and what can we hear?
First question will be for Anexis.
Okay.
How do a team manage a comeback like this after losing the first map so clear with only one round on their bonus side?
I think we just knew that like Nuke was probably VeryGames' map, and they were going to be the better team on that map. And if we took that map, we were going to be pretty confident we'd be able to sort of win the 2-1 series or like 2-0, but we just knew on Dust 2 we'd beaten them at the tournament just a week ago, so we knew we had the confidence from that going into the map that we could win that map, and then basically we just put it all into action and were able to take the win. We just kind of we were all saying together, like when we're talking to each other, that map's void, that we sort of just got shut down by their strats, and none of us really got an opportunity to use our aim to be able to kill them. They were sort of shooting us all in the back, and we were kind of disorganised and just running into everything they were doing. And when we were doing the smokes outside on Nuke, we knew that they were sort of nowhere there. So Kenny was just getting free kills, so we just sort of decided that that's their map. They were able to just pick up all the kills, and that moving on to Dust 2, they wouldn't be able to do that against us because it's just sort of the best map that we have. So we were pretty confident on that map we were going to win, and it was going to come down to Inferno. So that's why, really.
Great answer there.
How much practice did you both did your teams get?
We've been boot camping since Monday. We had a LAN last weekend, and since then we just practiced online like 5 days a week. And we were trying to play every day to just keep a certain level. and then trying to adapt, like preparing for certain events. For this one, for example, we had like a 5 days boot camp, and we're gonna have another LAN this week, so we're gonna have 2 other days of boot camp. So we're just practicing as much as possible, pretty much, for these LANs.
Do you play public games as well, or only Cloud Wars?
We generally, when we're boot camping, for example, we are playing all together, like from 3 p.m. till midnight.
Okay.
And if we are playing online, we're playing like way less. And regarding that, we are playing either party games to train personally, or just playing mixes or pick it. And everything you can pretty much like helps you to play better.
But a bit of fun is involved too, right?
A bit.
A bit.
And for you guys?
Practice-wise, it's been quite difficult because we changed the player recently, but most of all we just try and play most evenings from like 6 to about 11 o'clock. But so far for this tournament with Lewis, we've been able to play, I think, 4 days. We sort of played before the Birmingham tournament last weekend, and then 2 days before this one, and then we obviously had to travel here and stuff like that. So far with Lewis, we played 2 days, but together we sort of managed to probably play about 20 days together. But it's been quite difficult because obviously all the other teams probably at this tournament, they've been playing together for like 6 months or more, so they've got a lot more strats and team play together. But I think that's what I said to you earlier, like we've got the 2 months coming up now where we're probably not going to attend too many events, and just try and make sure that we're up to scratch for like after the summer basically. So.
Good stuff, looking forward to after summer. Any more questions from you, Melee?
Opinions about the P90?
Well, I think it's kind of overpowered at the moment because you can just take it in gun rounds and just use it as any other weapon. It's still a good counter-eco weapon, but it should be nerfed a bit, and that's what I think about it.
Yeah, I saw Existence use it as steel stairs, and it was pretty annoying. Bobbing up and down, weaving around, he was loving it. And I think he just kept it because he kind of probably knew that he was going to go steel stairs the next round, and it was just like, he probably knew what we were going to do, so he was just there going left, right, and it's quite hard to be able to hit him. So, in this game, yeah, it's a pretty good gun if you're using it like that.
Good gun if you use it like that. Anything else from...
Yeah, last question. How do you like the gaming equipment here?
Everything is perfect here. We have the monitors. I'm going to talk about the monitors first because they're all just excellent. BenQ are providing such amazing things, and the whole event. The whole atmosphere around it. Everything is really nice. You have people watching on the seats. You have room to play. You are facing the other team. I don't know. Everything is good here.
Okay.
Everything is good here. We love to hear that, the ESL. And for you?
Yeah, it reminded me I played in the Championship Gaming Series, and the same sort of thing here when you sort of warm up beforehand on the computers. They're all perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. You sort of just swap your SSD, so you've sort of set up your computer already, swapping it over to the tournament computer you're playing with, and you can't really go much wrong with that, knowing that your setup's exactly right when you're going onto the tournament PC. So you can kind of sit down, just make sure everything's fine. All you have to change is the monitor settings, and then you're sort of ready to go. So it's much more professional than other events.
It's excellent news to hear. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much, MBK. Good luck further, and of course, good luck in whatever's next, and make sure you get the practice in. We've got coming up Imaginary Gaming and Fnatic, and to get you warmed up for Fnatic, we actually have another video for you to check out. So tune in, Fnatic, and it's versus Fox. Enjoy.